Provo. BYU marching down the road to another conference championship. But there is a roadblock. The Wyoming Cowboys, their season finale. The Cougars have won 16 straight conference games here at Cougar Stadium. The last team to beat BYU here at home, Wyoming. Hi, everybody. I'm Craig Bullerjack, along with Blaine Fowler. And, Blaine, I think the fact of the day is that next week the showdown in San Diego, but the coaches have got to realize, and the Cougars have got to realize, they got to get by the Cowboys first today.
Yeah, and Wyoming is a very formidable opponent for the Cougars. They're very explosive on offense. They have a talented football team. They've been bitten by the injury bug a little bit this year, and that slowed them down. But you can't let a team like Wyoming get in the game early, because when they can score points, if they get in a scoring match against BYU, the Cougars could be in for a long afternoon.
Now, if you follow the Western Athletic Conference, of course, this is a passing frenzy conference today. We've got two good quarterbacks. Detmer, ranked #1 in the conference in passing, and Carranzos from Wyoming, ranked #3.
They're both very good quarterbacks. Carranzos is having his finest year as a Wyoming quarterback. He's been very patient. He's got a couple of good receivers in Rivers and Yarborough. Rivers questionable for today, but Yarborough, even in double coverage last week, came up with 218 yards and receptions against San Diego State. He is a good one, and that is who Carranzos will go to when he needs a big play.
Now, both of these teams defensively are blessed with outstanding linebackers, but if there is a weakness for Wyoming, they do give up the big play, Blaine. 7 touchdowns, 60 yards and better. Something the Cougars, of course, can take advantage of. They're the big play type offense.
They really are. And Detmer, he's a guy that likes to go deep if he can. He's a good man for reading defenses. Wyoming's had a lot of injuries in the secondary this year. There have been secondary people out of position. Detmer will recognize that. If the free safety's not back there in the middle to help out, he'll go down deep down the middle and try to get a big play out of it.
You know, Blaine, you mentioned that the Rivers, the running back, is questionable. Did make some warm-ups today down on the field. And Doug Miller, it looks like really the Cowboys can almost set up their own mash unit. It's been a rough year for injuries for the Wyoming Cowboys.
No doubt about that, and a frustrating injury for Robert Rivers last week. First play of the game, strained arch, and he's real tentative. They have him suited up. You'll see him on the field today. Whether or not he'll play or not is uncertain. 21 injuries during the course of the year for the Cowboys required surgery. One of the factors in that may be that the Cowboys have not had a single bye all year. This is it for them, so that certainly they got everybody that can play today suited up. It's like the final game, the bowl game for the Cowboys, so anybody can be here is today. They took the bus.
All right, Doug Miller, it is the season finale for Wyoming. The Cougars looking for their 7th consecutive win. We'll see what happens. BYU live at Cougar Stadium, Provo, Utah. The Cougars and the Cowboys today. It is a cool November afternoon. And Doug Miller, you said they did cover the field here last night to prevent what? Moisture building up, obviously?
It rained here all along the valley during the night. Pretty good rain. They've had the field covered. They removed it about an hour before the game today. They used buckets to settle the canvas on the field. There was enough wind here that it was blowing it off. But the field's in great condition. A little bit moist and wet on the surface. It's soft just a little bit, but should be no factor, at least in this point. But it could be the big rain. They say this is a proverbial blue hole we're in, kind of in between rainstorms.
The eye of the storm, so to speak. A couple of minutes before kickoff here in Provo, and Blaine Fowler, interesting fact here in Division I, the Wyoming Cowboys, the only team in the country this year to play their complete schedule without a bye week. And I think in a way, though, you look at what's happened, injuries to this team, it really has hurt. No time at all to let the hurts heal up.
That's right. A bye week sometimes is a welcome break during the season. Remember, BYU got banged up early in the year playing against some very physical opponents, and they had a chance to heal up. And Wyoming just didn't have that chance at all this year. They go straight through 11 games. They've been beat up, and that's been a real problem for them. They haven't had consistency. They've got some great athletes. They've got some good young people, but just haven't had consistency because the same people haven't been out on the field.
Cowboys have lost 8 starters on defense through the course of the year to injuries.
Look at the WAC standings. The Cougars all by themselves, 5-0 in the conference. San Diego State 5-1. They play this afternoon, and of course next week a possible showdown for the conference championship at Jack Murphy Stadium. Well, the Cowboys won the toss. They deferred, so the Cougars will receive. They will start this game. Brad Clark and Mark Atuaya back to receive the kick. And today's kickoff is brought to you by FHP Healthcare. When you want quality, value, and convenience from your health plans, choose FHP. Bill Gould, number 50, ready to kick it away here. A late arriving crowd on this damp afternoon, and we're underway. And Gould kicks the ball out of bounds. The flags fly, and we'll do it again. I think Brigham Young has chosen to take the football, Blaine, at the point of the ball going out of bounds.
Well, they get their choice on that now. They can take the ball at the 35-yard line, or they can take the penalty and make him kick it again. And you're rarely going to get a return, even if he's kicking from the 30-yard line.
Take it at the 35.
So.
You see Ty Detmer's numbers. Has a chance today to go over the 3,000-yard mark in passing. His percentage excellent, over 62% completion rate. Cougars start up at the 35-yard line in the I formation. They go to the ground. Jamal Willis. And Willis bangs his way up to the 40-yard line. A pickup of 5 on first down. Here's our 7-11 Citgo starting lineup. Detmer, of course, the quarterback. Drage and Matsuzaki will start as the wide receivers. The tight end Byron Rex, and in the backfield, Eric Mortensen and Peter Tuipulotu up front, and they are big. 286 per man. Ladd, May-Pei, Touche, and Eli Herring, the left tackle. Ty Detmer, second down and 5. A little counter play. Tuipulotu stuck in the backfield, and he falls forward up near the 44-yard line. He'll be 2 yards shy of the first down.
There's a look at the starting defense for the Wyoming Cowboys. Doug Rigby, big number 77, the experienced man on the defense on that front. He's the one that just turned that last play in. Look at the linebackers, a good group. Corey Talich, the middle backer, leading the team in tackles. And the secondary. A group that's been like a rotating crew back there this year, Craig. A lot of injuries have plagued that secondary.
Paul Wallace is a durable type of guy at the left corner. He was a first-team All-WAC selection last year and a preseason All-America pick. And Jamal Willis busted off the right side, got the first down, and tackled by the free safety Brian Boker, number 11, a sophomore out of Lakewood, Colorado. But how about Jamal Willis? What a surprise. Didn't see a lot of playing time, Blaine, in the first 2 games. Those first 3 really road games against Florida State, Penn State, and UCLA, but boy, he's come on strong in the conference part of the season.
And he had a lot to learn at the beginning of the season, coming from primarily a running team in high school. He had to learn to read defenses, and he's come along very nicely. What a great addition to that Cougar backfield. Nearly
6 yards per carry. Jamal Willis, a quick flip out of the backfield, and Ty Detmer threw that ball just before Tuipulotu looked and threw it a little bit low, Blaine, around the knees, and Tuipulotu couldn't put his hands on it.
Ty Detmer read both backers on the strong side blitzing, so the read is to get the ball out quickly to Tuipulotu before Detmer is hit. He let the ball go very early, and Tuipulotu didn't make the read as quickly as Ty Detmer did and wasn't looking back.
There's Lavelle Edwards on the sideline. 20 years as the head coach here at BYU. 181 wins to his credit. Second down, Detmer in the pocket, good protection out to Nadi Valdez, wide open, and he's knocked out of bounds at the Cowboy 41. Nadi Valdez, a junior out of Mission, Texas, hampered by injury early in the season, came in with 18 receptions, 247 yards and 3 touchdowns. Ty, plenty of time, Blaine.
They put a lot of pressure on Kramer, the outside linebacker. You're going to see him come here and finally make the tackle. But they sent 2 receivers, Valdez and also Drage, out into his zone. They made him make the decision, and then Detmer throws to the guy he doesn't cover.
13-11 to play in the opening quarter, and the Cougars have taken the ball from the 35 down to the Cowboy 41-yard line. Back to the ground, Peter T. hops and skips to the 35, a pickup of 6. Cougars lead the series 30 wins, 28 losses, and there have been 3 ties. And the Cowboys are the last WAC team, by the way, to beat the Cougars here in Provo.
You know, Craig, probably the biggest improvement in the BYU offense, at least one of the top 2 improvements. First of all, the running game since the beginning of the season has gradually come along to where now it is a legitimate big threat to the defense. They're running the football very well, and that opens up that passing game.
Got a chance to see rookie head coach Joe Tiller his first year with the Cowboys. And now whistles fly, flags down at the 23-yard line. Tiller, an interesting story. He's been well-traveled, little Canadian Football League experience as a head coach.
Delay a game on the offense.
Tiller's brought a couple of new things to the Cowboy program. One of them you'll see on offense as the Cowboys gear up their first series here. He brings his plays in with the running backs rather than the wide receivers. Says the wide receivers are too important. He wants them on the field, getting their thoughts together, being in the play before, so they're not shuttling that play in.
Tiller, a 1965 grad from Montana State. And Cougar Stadium starting to fill up here. Expecting a sellout crowd of 65,000. Ty Detmer under the center on second down. Ty dumps it off and dropped by Matsuzaki.
That's a classic case, the most classic drop ball you could ever think of. He just took his eyes off it and started to run with the football. You could feel that linebacker behind him and didn't watch that one into his hands.
Now, leg injuries were a real problem for Brigham Young early in the season. Mentioned Nadi Valdez, but boy, Micah Matsuzaki really had some trouble with the hamstrings in the first month of the season.
I mentioned that there were two things that really improved: the running game and then the health of the wide receivers. You get Valdez and Matsuzaki both back, and now Drage has really come on. So they're a much better football team.
Jamal Willis and Peter Tuipulotu coming out of the backfield in coverage and nearly picked off by Eric Edmond, the right cornerback. He's a freshman out of Burnsville, Minnesota. And Ty let that ball hang up a little bit, and Edmond nearly picked it off.
If we can see on the replay, Detmer's going to throw this with a man right in his face, right here. And he couldn't step out to throw the football like he would like to. That gave Edmond a chance to get in there. The ball hung on that corner route, and Edmond made a nice play.
So Earl Kaufman, who had a knee surgery just a couple of weeks ago, in to punt this football away at his own 45. And it bounces into the end zone, so the Cowboys will start up at their own 20-yard line.
It's a tough thing for Kaufman, Craig, to only kick the ball 55 yards. He'd rather be back and just let it boom.
So we'll get our first look at the Wyoming Cowboys this afternoon. Tom Carranzos, the senior from Great Falls, Montana. He is Wyoming's all-time passer with well over 7,700 yards of passing yardage. They line up with the lone back. In motion, Bernice Taylor. Carranzos in trouble on first down, and in to make the sack is Jared Levitt, the left outside linebacker. His fourth sack of the season.
What you count on as an offense on that play is that backside linebacker is going to bite on the fake. He didn't there.
The 7-11 Citgo starting offense for the Cowboys. Carranzos. And up front, Roseboro, Van Rokel, Skinner, Worden, and Walgren. Matt Swinson, a good tight end, by the way. Keep your eye on him. They will throw to their tight end a lot. Number 88, a quick flip to the far side. The catch made by Bernice Taylor. He turns it up and tackled down at the 17-yard line. Dewey Gray there, along with Shad Hansen. What a year Shad Hansen's had.
He really has. There's a look at that starting defense for the Cougars. A young, aggressive group on that front with Brock, Gomes, and Pitts. Levitt, Beagle, Hansen, and Giles at the linebacker. And as you mentioned, Hansen having a year of years. And there's the secondary. Crutchfield back in the lineup after an injury, along with Arnold Gray and Irvin Lee.
Boy, Cowboys line up double slot to the right. It is third down and 13. Carranzos in trouble. Giles at the 10-yard line. Giles with his fifth quarterback sack. That's 31 on the season now for Brigham Young's defense.
And they're not going to be able to block the outside backers of Brigham Young with a tight end. They're used to blitzing against linebacker or against tackles. Giles was going man-to-man against Swinson on the outside. Just ran right by him, pushed him into the ground, and didn't even slow him down.
Sean Fleming back to kick. A low snap. Brad Clark will watch it bounce, and the Cowboys down it at midfield.
Fleming's kick is
9:51 to play, and we're scoreless in Provo. Well, last year in Laramie, that young man had a big afternoon. 484 yards passing, 2 touchdowns for Ty Detmer. And he starts back up at the Cowboy 49-yard line. Across the middle of the tight end, wide open, Byron Rex. And white-clad jerseys all over Rex. It took 5 Cowboys to pull him down at the 27-yard line. Paul Wallace, the left corner, the first to meet him. Our score updates are brought to you by Warner Christensen Chevrolet, Buick Geo. We make car buying easy.
You saw just sitting in the zone there. Wyoming plays a 4-3 defense, so they only have 3 linebackers underneath in coverage. BYU's been taking advantage of that. They spread it out underneath. They send 3 or 4 receivers across at about 5 yards and make the linebackers make a decision.
Big numbers for Rex, his 27th reception. Tui Pelotu on the draw, and he's tackled from behind by number 40. That's Corey Talich, the middle linebacker. Boy, Talich and Kramer, the top 2 tacklers on this team. Talich, by the way, just a sophomore, and for a linebacker, Blaine, 190. He's got some room to put some weight on.
He really does. He's young, though. He has a chance to put some. I'd hate to be down there at that weight in the middle like that. You could just get knocked around by those big offensive linemen coming out from the offensive line just looking for you.
Now, Eli Herring, 305. Thank you very much. Detmer on the rollout. Throws back across the grain. Mortensen at the 15 takes a shot and hammered down at the 10-yard line by Junior Marcellus, a junior out of Miami.
I cannot tell you how hard that throw would be to make, Craig. This play's designed to go out to the right. Detmer reads the defense. Now watch Mortensen just kind of has nobody to block, hides in there, and comes backside. Now Detmer's running full speed to his right with a big pass rush, and you saw him get hit there as he released the football. Didn't even set his feet and threw it back across the grain about 25 yards in the air to Mortensen.
Clock running here. 8:25 to play, opening quarter. Cougars with a first down. Jamal Willis, the handoff. And he's knocked out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Takes a high, hard hit from Paul Wallace, number 29, the left side cornerback.
Coach Lance Reynolds before the game told me that we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg in terms of talent with Jamal Willis. Nice little escort out in front of him with Brian May and Tujay out there. But he says as he learns the offense, as he gets better at recognizing defenses, he will continue to improve. And I think he looks okay to me right now.
Looks real good. The freshman from Las Vegas, averaging nearly 6 yards a carry. Detmer rolls out. He may take it in. Cuts it up. Touchdown, Detmer.
This puts so much pressure on the linebackers and secondary for Wyoming. Detmer rolling out. Now he has the choice. If he steps up and they commit, he'll just dump it over the top. If they back off in coverage, which they chose to do, he'll just tuck it up and go. If he can get outside of that linebacker and get on the corner, there's no way to stop him on that one.
Ty's second rushing touchdown of the season. Earl Kaufman in to try the point after. He's made 26 of 28 PATs, and he drills another one through the uprights, and the Cougars strike first. A 2-yard touchdown by Ty Detmer. The point after by Kaufman, and the Cougars up 7. 8-10 to
pretty good contingency of Cowboy fans here. Cowboy Joe, of course, mascot. This guy lives in a bad neighborhood. How bad? They say they check you for a weapon when you come in. If they don't have one, they give you one. Right? Take that.
Cowboy Joe. Lavelle Edwards pacing the sideline. His Cougars up a touchdown. Keith Lever will kick it away. Kaufman's knee still not what he was hoping it would be. Toyota is a proud sponsor of today's football game. I love what you do for me, Toyota. 8:10 to play, opening quarter. And Lever kicks it away. Oh, what a hit. What a hit at the 15-yard line. Todd Herget. And I think that knocked the mouthpiece right out of him. Here's the touchdown one more time.
You see, the thing that makes this go is the block by the right tackle. That's Tom Ladd that allows Detmer to get out to that corner and put the pressure on the secondary. And there's a look at the scoring drive. 5 plays, 48 yards after the punt. Minute 41.
But what about that hit?
Need to break out the airbags on that one, Craig.
Woo. First down with the Cowboys at the 15. They go right back to the ground. Is there a fumble?
Gotta be. Strip clean.
Dewey Gray came up with it, but the officials, I believe, whistled it down, Doug, at the 17-yard line.
That may be a good call. A replay will show here. He may have been stood up. They may have said progress had stopped, but it was a good lick, and again, that ball was ripped out.
Let's take a look at when that ball does come out. His progress has stopped at that point, and then you saw Rocky Beagle reach in with the right hand and strip it. So a good call by the officials, and they can tell if they blow the whistle, the ball is dead, and that was the judgment. Good call that time.
Cowboys looking at 2nd down 8. A slot to the right. Carranzos fires it to the far side, and the catch made there by Ryan Yarborough. 43 receptions now in the year. He's got a good chance today with a big day, Blaine, to pick up 1,000 yards receiving.
And this is really what Wyoming needs to do on offense. They've tried to do some drop back and some play action there in their first series. BYU's pass rush was just too much for them. Allow Carranzos to get some confidence, throw that 3-step quick stuff, and build from there.
Cowboys in the I formation. They hand off Terrence Hendricks, and he rumbles up near the first down. Hendricks, a freshman. 7 touchdowns he scored this year, and a nice average, 5.1 yards a carry. He's closing in on 800 yards on the season.
And Wyoming's been throwing the football so well the last few weeks. A run like that is almost a surprise to the defense. You get in that pass rush mode. They just went man-to-man blocking and opened up a nice hole for Hendricks.
Hendricks out of Arlington. There he is, number 39. They go back to the ground off the left side on first down. 2-yard gain by Hendricks. They're running behind Eric Worden, a 263-pound guard, and Joe Walgren, a 260-pound tackle.
And on that particular play, BYU was in an all-out blitz. They brought both linebackers, and you saw Beagle play just like a linebacker was taught. He straight down the line of scrimmage, followed the back, keyed on his man, and when the hole opened up, he stepped up in and filled it.
2nd down 7 for the Cowboys. A quick drop. Overthrows Yarborough, and Carranzos there really threw a dart up and over the hands of Ryan Yarborough.
Saw another blitz coming. Carranzos did, called an audible, wanted to go quickly out to Yarborough. He was a little too excited to see that one-on-one coverage out there and really let that one fly.
Haven't seen Robert Rivers yet, number 24. He's ranked 13th in the nation in receiving, number 3 in the conference. Sprained an ankle on the first play last week against San Diego State. A high snap, and Carranzos tried to push that ball between Josh Arnold and Rocky Beagle. Incomplete. Dennis Ross, the intended receiver there, number 6, and the Cowboys will punt for the 2nd time today. John Fleming, number 42, a 39-yard average, and Brad Clark back at the 15. Well, that kick got away. Takes a bounce. Flags are down. Clark scoops it up. Fumbles the football. I believe he got it back at the 28. But we've got flags down. One at the 23 and one at the 26-yard line.
Well, you could hear that hit again. We've had 2 good hits on special teams so far in this game. One flag was thrown real early, and then the other about halfway through the run back. So I'll be interested to see what the call is. That one almost looked like it was blocked, but I think it got off the side of the foot of Fleming.
Conference. Jack Baker, the referee today. He wears the white hat. That was like a summit.
Yeah, they've got...
He just called a linesman over from the BYU sideline. I don't know quite what the discussion is.
See Doug Rigby, big number 77. He's the only player in on the conference. Privileged information there for Rigby.
Well, here we go. Jack Baker.
Illegal participation on the receiving team. 12 men on the field. They played the entire down. 15 yards from the previous spot. First down.
Now that is a big penalty.
So the Cowboys come back on offense. And Lavelle Edwards getting the...
Now, if you have 12 men on the field and the guy's running to get off the field and just gets caught on, they only give you 5. But if you actually participate in the play, you're going to get slapped with a 15-yarder, and that was enough for that first down. You think with 12 people you'd be able to get a good run back?
Exactly, yeah. It looked like Lavelle was satisfied with the explanation there. But boy, a big break for the Cowboys. The penalty moves the ball now inside Cougar territory at the 44. A first down. 5:57 to play, first quarter. And now that's kind of brings a spark out of this crowd. Carranzos, the handoff. And no place to go. Big number 97, Randy Brock, made the stop.
You know, Wyoming had not even picked up that penalty. The offense was on the bench. They were working on the next series. Defensive unit was already on the field when they called him back on.
Get back to work. And they did. Second down, 10. Brock made the stop on Hendricks. No gain. Carranzos stands in that pocket, flips the ball out to his tight end, Matt Swenson. And boy, he bulls his way down near the 30. They'll mark him out of bounds at the 29-yard line. Swenson, a 6'6", 230-pound junior. And he's a tough man to get down.
You mentioned they used their tight end. The only difference between this offense of Wyoming's and what we saw 2 weeks ago against New Mexico is they indeed have a tight end. Swenson is a fine one. He just went on a little out route underneath the secondary coverage. They cleared out with the receiver. You can see what he can do after he catches the football. He's a big, strong player.
Ran right through Crutchfield and Dewey Gray. Shed Hansen had to come over and knock him down. A first down for the Cowboys. Play action. And this time Carranzos overthrows his tight end. Swenson, by the way, that's his 34th reception. It's quite a few catches for a tight end in a season.
Especially in an offense where it's wide receiver oriented. For him to catch that many footballs is unusual. That's the second time they try to run that naked bootleg where he fakes in and tries to come out without any blocker in front. But the linebackers for BYU obviously have scouted that play. They're not falling for the fake. They're staying home, and he has to throw it under pressure.
I just saw a good look at the Rock. A Rocky Beagle, number 45. Going for the touchdown. Carranzos just overthrows Harris, number 21.
Harris was working on Josh Arnold. He had Arnold beat down the sideline. Carranzos with just a little bit too much juice on that football. He has a strong arm. He throws it for the back of the corner. The timing's just a little bit off. And I'll say he throws it for the back of the corner. He hits the pylon in that back corner. That's about where you want to put the football, but the timing has to be right so that your receiver's there when the ball arrives.
Third down 10 at the Cougar 29. Across the middle, the catch made. Fumble picked up by Pitts. And Pitts tackled at the 10-yard line.
Paul Pitts indicates, I can't hear you. There's a little bit more out of the crowd.
Paul Pitts, his second With a second fumble recovery of the year. He's a JC transfer out of Pasadena. Cougars will be on offense when we come back. They lead it by 7.
Why is Mark Miller moving? Perfect weather conditions.
Start with a crisp, fresh fruit and salad bar. Then for the same low price, add delicious hot entrees. Specialty foods like seafood and pasta. A cool dessert bar with all your favorites, plus a soft drink. Chuck-A-Rama's cooking it all up for one low price and special kids prices, too.
Quality variety at one low price. Chuck-A-Rama, we're cooking and how. I believe in sunshine, rainbows in the sky. I believe in baseball, mom and apple pie. I believe in freedom to be all I can be. I believe in people who believe in me.
Here's a lesson on how to strip the football. Check out Dewey Gray, number 5, after Yarborough makes the catch.
Brings that right hand right over the top. Notice he had the left hand to make sure he had the tackle and stripped with the right hand. Then Paul Pitts is the beneficiary of a nice gift from Derwin Gray. That was Yarborough, their top receiver, on the catch.
4:52 to play, opening quarter. Cougars start up at their own 10-yard line. I formation. Jamal Willis stopped behind the line and falls up near the 11-yard line. Give him a yard on the carry. Jamal Willis, 6'3", 205.
It's the first time we've seen BYU run a draw from the I formation. Willis, he looks comfortable back there in the back of that I, like he could be taking pitches at USC or someplace like that back there as a tailback.
Peter Tuipulotu now to line up. Play action, Detmer on the roll. Downfield to Drage and nearly picked off. Good defensive effort there by number 43, Talich, the middle linebacker. Detmer is challenging the Cowboy defenders. He's thrown into traffic twice now and nearly picked off on both occasions.
Think about what a good play this is, Craig. Talich was the middle linebacker. He waited on the fake to Tuipulotu to make sure he didn't have the football and then ran as fast as he could out to that flat. You know, he's not a very big guy, but his speed and size are helpful when he's trying to pass defend like that.
Tuipulotu, the slot, comes back, a little backside help. Now Ty in trouble at the goal line. Still on his feet, hugs the sideline, and he'll go out of bounds at the 16. Nimble running by Ty Detmer.
You see the smile on Detmer's face. He seemed to enjoy the game, I'll tell you that. What's going to happen is it's going to take two men. You see Tuipulotu and May both have to pick up the defensive end. That leaves the backer unblocked. And Detmer shakes with his great strength. shakes off the tackler for some good yardage.
A 4th down and 5, so Kaufman at his own goal line. A low snap. And a line drive kick taken at midfield and fumbled. Recovered by Eric Edmond.
And Craig, that's where Wyoming really has to miss Rivers. He does the returns on kickoffs and punts. He's one of the best in the country, really. And they miss him at wide receiver, certainly, because that allows people to double up on Yarborough. But you really have to have a guy that will catch that football consistently and get you some yardage on the special teams.
Cowboys come back with good field position. They start up at the Cougar 45. Just under 4 minutes to play in the first quarter. Cougars up a touchdown thanks to a 1-yard touchdown run by Ty Detmer. Carranzos. And he overfires Kernice Taylor. Looks like he's hurrying his throws here in the early going.
I think that's one thing they worked on the bench, the Cowboy coaching staff working with them, trying to make some blocking adjustments, and they worked up a series of quick release, kind of hot pattern plays that I think you'll see on this series, and they told them good series in spite of the great play by Derwin Gray that stripped that ball away and turned the ball over for the Cowboys deep in BYU territory. Good series, they say. Keep your head up.
Well, the sun has just peeked out. If we're in the eye of the storm, the eye just opened. Carranzos, the quick flip to the tight end, Mike Jones, but a flag is down in the secondary. Jones backs up Swenson at the tight end spot. He's a sophomore out of Rapid City, South Dakota. And the call is holding against the Cougars.
I would think they would take that yardage.
Blaine, you've been in this situation before as a quarterback. These little conferences, you have so many options. You know what? You look to the sideline anyway. The coaches are going to tell you what to do.
Penalty is refused. First down.
You and I have talked about this before. They ought to just go over and ask the coach. He makes the decision anyhow. You know, the game has gone so specific. The coaches coach specific positions. Quarterbacks don't call the plays on the field anymore other than the audibles. The players don't make the decisions on the penalties. Let's just go over and ask the coach, what do you want to do, coach?
First down at the Cougar 32. Yarborough in motion. Crutchfield follows. The handoff. Rivers makes his appearance, and boy, he rumbles still on his feet. Josh Arnold tackles him down at the 13-yard line, but that's the type of impact player he is.
34, Ryan Christopherson breaking off the short side. Tackle made by Josh Arnold.
And then we got an injured Cowboy.
It's down to the 13-yard line.
You can see they just brought a trap inside the linebacker. Beagle was blitzing, and so he overran the play. Derwin Gray playing off the block, gets some help from Josh Arnold, but not before a big play. They caught BYU in a blitz and just popped him through the line of scrimmage.
The injured player, Mitch Roseborough, left tackle, big guy, 6'5", 270. He's replaced by Kirk Van Rokel.
Looks like he's walking it off. I don't think the injury is serious.
Terrence Hendricks. And the Cougars stand up and push him back. Leading the charge, Josh Arnold. And right there, big number 90, Lenny Gomes. You like Gomes, don't you, Doug?
Big guy, and he strongest, maybe one of the strongest. There's several of them at 5 for that. Gomes, though, maybe with the record for bench press on the team. Incredible strength.
You know, he makes a lot of tackles for a nose. The nose usually ties up 1 or 2 or 3 blockers and opens it up for the linebackers. It's surprising how often he is involved in the tackles. 62
tackles, in fact, this season. Carranzos fires to his tight end. Swenson put a hand up and couldn't make the catch at the 5.
Just like, look where Gomes is now, inside, deep in that pocket. Every time, if Gomes could get under that center, he has the strength in his legs and his upper body. He literally lifts them out of the way and tosses them aside.
Good coverage that time, too. Carranzos threw into double coverage. You had Gray and Giles out on the big tight end.
3rd down 8 at the BYU 11-yard line. Cowboys have been close in this first quarter. In motion, Taylor. Carranzos. And at the goal line, Derwin Gray makes a stop on Yarborough, but flag is down at the 8-yard line. That was like slow motion. Yarborough and Dewey just kind of sat there.
Neither guy had the leverage to beat the other. I mean, they wrestled. It must have been 3 or 4 seconds there, teetering in front of that goal line.
You see the wrestling match there. Yarborough wanted to get it in the end zone, and Gray was holding on saying, I need help over here, somebody. Let's look at Ryan Yarborough. BYU brought the linebackers that time, which left man-to-man coverage. And now this one's going to come back.
Here's a call, Jack Baker.
Ineligible receiver downfield on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.
So a 5-yard penalty instead of first and goal at the 1. It's back to the 16-yard line and a third down.
That was a quick 5-step drop slant throw. I'd like to know how you can get somebody downfield that quick. A lineman must have thought that was a running play. I don't know how he could get that mixed up, but that was a quick throw, and they still had someone up the field more than 3 yards.
Carranzos in the shotgun on third down. A slant pass to Yarborough, may break it, touchdown. A 16-yard toss from Carranzos to Yarborough. His 11th touchdown catch of the season.
And BYU gambled. Wyoming caught them in that gamble. They brought the linebackers on a blitz. You saw Hansen in there, Beagle in there on the blitz. When you throw that underneath route, which Florida State has brought to college football, that's the play that they made popular this year. The linebackers have to be back there to help out on the tackle. If they're blitzing and you get the throw off, there's nobody to stop them.
And the point after. But a flag is down. Cowboys clapping their hands, indicating it's against BYU. So the point will count. We've got a tie football game.
Still anticipation. 12 men on the field on the defense. They played the entire down. Penalty be administered on the kickoff. Extra point was good.
Second time today, Blaine. 12 men on the field. Now that's just special teams. Little mix-up there. They should know the assignment.
I'll tell you what may be the problem. I saw Crutchfield over talking to the official. Crutchfield has not been in the game on special teams for the last few weeks, but now with an injury, he's now back in there. Perhaps a player that's substituting for Crutchfield is out there participating, thinking he's supposed to be on those special teams.
7-7 our score here in Provo. 1:51 to play in the first quarter. A 16-yard touchdown from Carranzos to Yarborough. Carranzos now, Blaine, with 19 touchdown throws, and you can see the Wasatch Front, that storm we talked about, maybe it is moving in a little bit. The eye is closing, Doug Miller.
I'd hate to see a game go by without Doug at least getting rained on.
Up there in that nice, warm, covered booth.
I got my coat off, Doug.
That's a perfect afternoon down here. It's going to hold out. I'm going for about light sprinkle by 4 o'clock.
Notre Dame leading Tennessee big 24-7. You can see Penn State 24-0 over Maryland, number 9 in the country. Joe Paterno just keeps putting together a great football team year after year. The kickoff, Clark takes it and he'll down it.
Here's a look at the Cowboys scoring drive. 6 plays, 44 yards, 2 minutes and 1 second. Aided by a holding penalty. But Carranzos catching the BYU defense in a blitz on that 16-yard pass to Yarborough.
BYU a 15-point favorite in this game. It's tied up 7 apiece. 1:51 to play in the first quarter. The backs are split on first down. Detmer launches it downfield. The ball caught by a Cowboy, Brian Boker. Eric Drage, the intended receiver. And boy, what a year Drage has had, especially the last 3 games. If you would think Ty has a favorite receiver downfield, I believe it's number 18, Eric Drage.
He's really become the crunch guy, the guy you go to when you need one. Take a look. You can see that Boker indeed does come out of bounds when he lands with that football by about 2 yards. Detmer is challenging that secondary. He's gone into coverage 2 or 3 times. Problem is there hasn't been anything open underneath either, and he elects to go deep if both people are covered.
Detmer 3 out of 8 so far. Nani Valdez in motion. Second down. Ty throws back across the grain. Tulimili, the freshman tight end. He's got speed, breaks a tackle, And he's hammered down to the 29-yard line, about a yard shy of the first down. Well, a little razzle-dazzle by the Cougars on a second down call.
Little Y screen out to the tight end. They call their tight end Y, their flanker Z, and their wide receiver X. This they call Y screen. A little bit risky because watch the football. Detmer's actually going to throw it backward by 3 yards to Mealy. If he does not catch that, it is a fumble. So they're pretty sure of his hands over there. And boy, can he run with the football. He has got great speed for a big guy.
Tuli Mealy, a freshman, his 10th catch of the season. A first down at the 30-yard line. Detmer pedals back, a quick flip to Nati Valdez, and he stretches out and makes the catch at the 35. A 5-yard pickup.
They continue to work that underneath coverage, putting pressure on linebacker Chad Cahoon that time. Make him make the decision. Put Valdez on one side of him, Tui Pelotu on the other out of the backfield. And he squeezes Tui Pelotu a little bit. You go outside to Valdez.
.35 seconds to play in the opening quarter. Jamal Willis and Peter T in the backfield. Tui Pelotu the call. And he's tackled from behind. A pickup of maybe a yard. Number 77, Doug Rigby, the right end, made the stop. Tui Pelotu has gotten a lot of rest over the last couple of weeks. Been nagged with that thigh bruise.
I'd have to say the unwanted rest, Craig. He doesn't like to be pedaling a bicycle on the sideline instead of in the football game. But that particular draw trap, Doug Rigby played off the trap block so well to make that play.
First quarter has come to an end. We played 15 minutes. Detmer, a 1-yard touchdown and a 16-yard pass from Carranzos to Yarborough. We're tied at 7.
Imagine you're on your way to work and you're in your car. And it's a small car, but that's okay, you know, because it gets good gas mileage. But then this guy in this great big car comes by. So, whoa! And then he runs out of gas on the bridge. Now you're stuck in traffic. And today's the day you got that big presentation with graphs and things. But luckily you have a cellular phone. So you call the tow truck and you say, hey, tow truck, I got this guy in front of me. Get him out of here.
My customers keep telling me, Tony, you gotta try Hardee's new subs. They're even better than yours. We'll see. Give me your best sub.
Okay, start with a nice roll. Add Swiss, roast beef, turkey, and ham, fresh tomatoes, onions, and lettuce.
Right now, try one of Hardee's new subs and a Coke and get free fries. Get that at a sub shop.
Hey, Tony, great sub, huh? Oh, sorry, Tony.
Deli subs, now at Hardee's.
Attention students, attention students. Today's lesson is something all well-educated drivers need to know. Where to go for the perfect car. Number 1, go to a place with the largest inventory selection in Utah County. Number 2, find a place where the salespeople know what they're talking about. Number 3, find a place that makes car buying easy. And last but not least, find Warner Christensen Chevrolet Buick Geo on University Parkway in Provo.
No matter what your needs, no matter what size, Reinhardt Oil has the Exxon oils and lubricants for your business. Reinhardt Oil, the Intermountain West's leading supplier to industrial, mining, and trucking. Reinhardt Oil, the Intermountain West's petroleum professionals.
Shot of Irvin Lee there on the sidelines behind the BYU bench with some stomach or abdominal pains. They're still trying to determine the nature of it. Irvin came out of that last series with pain in his right side, and they're just taking a look at it now. Top of the second quarter, Craig, 7-7 tie.
Both teams have moved the ball up and down the field. For the Cowboys, at least, Blaine, a couple of crucial turnovers that kind of put the fire out, but they did just push a touchdown in just before the end of the first quarter. We're tied at 7. BYU starts up at their own 36. Detmer out of the backfield is Peter T, and he slips but makes the catch near the 40-yard line. Here's our Utah Honda dealers' first quarter statistics. Passing, Carranzos 6 out of 12, Detmer 4 out of 9. Total yards pretty easy, even, Blaine, at 100 for the Cougs and 95 for the Cowboys. Penalties, real even ball game, and it indicates it on the score, 7-7 tie. Kaufman will punt, and he booms it. Edmund takes it, and he's tackled out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Now flags fly.
Doug, you were right down by that. Was that late or not?
Yeah, it was about 3 or 4 yards out. Too bad, too. BYU defender had a bead on him, just couldn't take the pedal off the metal, and plowed into him about 2 or 3 yards out of bounds. Great kick for Earl Kaufman. Still had a little pain in that knee before the game today. Said that they'd worked on it, assured him that he could not re-injure the knee, and told him to kick his heart out today. That was a boomer, too, a hang time of almost 4.2 seconds.
Wow.
Dead ball, personal foul on the kicking team.
That's going to go against Mike Hogan, number 33. He had a pretty good angle that time on Edmund. You can see him come in here now. Edmund's out of bounds right here, okay? He takes him and lets him fly. You have to discipline yourself to just, as soon as the whistle's blown, you just let go and you stop immediately, or you're going to get those kinds of penalties.
That gives Wyoming a first down at the 26-yard line. And by the way, Carranzos now 7th on the all-time career passing totals in the Western Athletic Conference. He just passed Steve Young. A quick flip dropped by his tight end. And you compare what Carranzos has done in his career compared to Ty. Ty, 14,000 yards passing. Carranzos now with 7,799 yards, bypassing Steve Young.
One thing that flag did, it got this crowd in the game.
Understand the Utes have just taken the lead down in Salt Lake at Rice Stadium over the Lobos, 10-7. It's 7-7 here. Taylor in motion. And Carranzos overthrows Yarborough.
I get the feeling Carranzos is a little nervous back there in the pocket, maybe because of the pressure on that first drive, but he's a little quick with his throws, and boy, he's got a lot of zip on it. Every ball that has been incomplete for him has been an overthrow and not by a yard or two. I mean, he's overthrown him by 10 yards.
This is the Cowboys' 11th game of the season. They close it out today here in Provo. Carranzos with only 8 interceptions on the year so far. Shotgun, plenty of time. Fires across the middle, and a diving attempt made by Dennis Ross, senior out of Waco, Texas. He was open, but Carranzos just overthrew him. Cowboys will punt. On comes Sean Fleming. Fleming at his own 11-yard line. Brad Clark back to receive the punt. Now Fleming with the fake stumbles, and the Cougars read it. Scotty Giles throws him out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Oh boy, what a bold call by Joe Tiller. Fleming stumbled a couple of times, and the Cougars stayed at home and made the play. 7-7 with 13:56 to play in the half. And the clouds beginning to move in above Cougar Stadium. Rain maybe by the fourth quarter, maybe earlier, Doug. You better get that umbrella out. Cougars back to the air on first down. Peter T. wide open. Oh, hurdles his way down to the 15. Put it on the highlight reel. Beautiful play by Peter Tuipulotu. High jumped over Eric Edmund.
It almost looked like he took a step on Edmund's shoulder.
Like a leapfrog, man. He had a left hand on Edmonton's left shoulder. He vaulted a good 4, maybe 5 yards.
He just used that right leg, just walked right across his back. Edmonds going to have a cleat mark on the right side of his back later.
Peter Tuipulotu, a big senior season. He scored 3 touchdowns last year against his Cowboy team. A first down for BYU. Detmer in that pocket. Still on the run. Got a man and overthrows his tight end, Byron Rex, who had snuck in the back corner of the end zone.
That pocket began to close down.
Flag down, Blaine, at the 20.
Going to get a holding call, as you saw.
What a job Detmer did, though, of eluding that. That pocket was collapsing. 2 guys clutching at his ankles, and Detmer just high steps out of there, squirts out, gets the ball away.
On the offense, 10 yards, repeat first down.
That's a good way to put it, Doug. You said squirts out. I don't know how he got between Herring and Tujay that time. 2 big boys, but I know he looked small when he went through that little gap to get out to the left side.
The ball placed down just outside the 30-yard line. The down stays the same. A first down for BYU. 25 to go. Jamal Willis and Tuipulotu in the backfield. Willis the handoff. Turns the corner. And down he goes at the 23. The Cougars now whistled 4 times today, Blaine, for 50 yards. And we haven't played 2 minutes yet into this second quarter.
Well, you're talking about a 6.8 on the Richter factor. Tujay and May leading that sweep around the left.
You see Tujay there on the replay run clear to the outside. If your lineman doesn't have anybody to pick up, you're probably better off being on his outside hip until he makes the block, then cut back in. Willis cut that one up a little early that time.
7-yard pickup by Willis. Back to the air. Tuipulotu at the goal line. Fumbles the football. They say incomplete. Oh, he took a shot from Corey Talich, the inside linebacker.
Boy, we have seen some hits in this football game, and that ranks right up with it. You see the linebacker running but not looking. That's Talich running behind. And then the safety comes over. Tuipulotu does not even see the safety coming, so he didn't have a chance to brace himself. As soon as he brought that in, boom. And I think that was Marcellus who made the hit.
Third down for Brigham Young. Detmer stands up. Nani Valdez spins and tackled down at the 2. A first down for the Cougars. Nani Valdez running some good, clean, crisp routes. Looks like his confidence is back in those legs.
What makes Detmer so effective on these kinds of routes? He has a good enough arm to get it out there, good, strong arm. But he threw that ball 3 steps before Valdez made his cut. And you saw as he looked down the field there, he wasn't even looking at Valdez. He picks him up, and within a fraction of a second, he's got the football out there right on the money.
First down, goal to goal. Detmer. The leading way, Brian May, and Detmer, yes, he got in his second touchdown run of the day. Brian May led the way.
And a similar play to that first touchdown. He's got receivers in the front and the back of the end zone. You see, he makes the defenders back up. He holds the football out, and he's just got to get to that pylon. If I was running out there, I think I'd like to have Brian May out in front of me.
6'6", 285. Earl Kaufman in to try the point after. Joe Evans, the holder. A good snap and a low kick. But Kaufman boots it through. Ties on the phone, but he scored twice on the ground today. Cougars up back at Cougar Stadium. BYU on top of the Cowboys, 14-7. And yeah, this place has filled up. Slow arriving crowd. But I believe they've got the 65,000 in here. Keith Liebert ready to tee it up. Interesting call by Tiller back on that last series for Fleming to run the football, and now the Cougars what was a tight game, it still is tight, but they've taken the lead now with after great field position, Glenn.
Yeah.
Lever the kick. Edmond takes it back down to the 26-yard line.
You take a look at this touchdown. He's got May out in front. Now let's take a look at Detmer's knee and see if it's down. You be the official at home. Is his knee on the ground before he crosses the plane?
Yeah, from that angle, he was reaching out. That's a tough one.
He was reaching out. That's a hard one to call from that angle, but so close. You have to cross the plane with the football only. That was a close one.
Cowboys a first down at their own 27. A quick hitter up the middle. Chad Hansen made the stop on Terrence Hendricks. Hendricks is this team's leading rusher. A quiet afternoon so far, though. He's a freshman. But what about Chad Hansen? Total tackles now. We're talking about both unassisted and being in on assists. 153 tackles. You talk about being around the football, you'll find Chad Hansen there. Carranzos. Yarborough makes a catch, dances up near the 38-yard line. They may have to measure here for the first down. He'll be close.
Yarborough was just working on Tony Crutchfield that time. Yarborough's got some great acceleration. He makes a cut, and within 2 steps of that cut, he's going full speed. It's hard to close on him as a defensive back if Carranzos gets the ball off in time. Defensive leaders in the conference. Chad Hansen is tied for first, really, with Wortham from UTEP. And Wortham's on a defense that's out on the football field all game long, it seems like.
A first down. Cowboys punch it up to the 40-yard line. Lenny Gomes slow getting up, number 90. Official timeout. Got caught under that pile.
Limping. Looks like that right leg.
Scott Sherala, number 93, has come in, and Gomes favoring that right leg or ankle.
He's obviously hurting.
He's a load to carry off, I'll tell you.
There's Lenny Gomes, 275-pounder. He's played that nose position very well all year.
Well, they cannot afford to lose him in this game, especially next week in San Diego State when they'll need pressure up the middle.
Scott Sherrall is a freshman out of Kerrville, Texas. He replaces Gomes. Second down, Carranzos to his tight end, Jones, breaks a tackle at the 50, the 40, and Dewey Gray trips him out of bounds at the 36-yard line.
Carranzos passing in the right flat to Mike Jones.
Now the official word on Irvin Lee, gastric stomach problems, Doug, and they expect him to return.
Watch Crutchfield this time. If you're going to make a tackle, you can't turn your back. Now, he wants to hit him low and get him around the ankles, but you've got to keep your head up and you've got to wrap your arms. You saw Crutchfield dives, put his back to the man. Jones just leaped over the top and got another 20 yards.
Wyoming on the move. A first down at the Cougar 35-yard line. The handoff goes to Hendricks off the right side. You can hear those pads pop. And the tackle made there by David Henderson, number 10.
Hendricks off tackle on the right side.
That's a pickup of 8 yards. That's her biggest gain on the ground today.
A big hole there. I may have been able to get a couple yards on that one. I don't know. Nah, at my speed, no way.
I don't know if Dewey got hurt on that last play or not, but Henderson in the ball game along with Crutchfield, Arnold, and Pitts. Oh, what a pop by Hansen. He put the helmet right on Hendricks.
And Gray comes right back into the football game.
And there is a flag in between those Cougars down there near the 25-yard line, a holding call against the Cowboys. You know, defensively now, Blaine, 2 starters not in this ball game. Well, Dewey just checked back in. Irvin Lee
on the offense.
Irvin Lee out.
10-yard penalty.
You know, some news on Gomes. It's good.
Yeah.
Minor sprain to the right ankle. He'll be back.
We'll tape that up, and he'll be on his way. An ankle's a weird thing, too. When you turn that ankle, for some reason you walk on it a little bit, it gets warmed up, it seems to come back.
He's overstretching it right now. I asked him if anybody stepped on it. Said no, just kind of planted it, felt it break, and just a sprain. No big deal.
Second down. Carranzos, the quick slant, and he hits Harris, or check that, Dennis Ross. Just about took an official with him.
Paul Pitts played that very well. That's an underneath route. That's so tough for a cornerback to run when the receiver's coming right down the line of scrimmage. And after he made the tackle, Pitts looked up to the official and said, hey, what about giving me a pick call here? Because what Wyoming does is they send the inside guy out and the outside guy in, and they try to rub that corner off. And Pitts wants a pick call on that one.
Clock running, 8.5 minutes left to play in the half. Toronto sets up and underthrows his wide receiver. Taylor, the intended receiver, so now Fleming will try a field goal. This will be a 52-yard attempt. Fleming's longest is 46.
Fleming spent quite a bit of time along that bench by himself the last series, I'll tell you.
Boy, nice boot. And
wide to the left.
The wide left. He had the distance, but he hooked it to the left.
You asked about whether or not that was an improvised.
We'll pick up on the improvision later. 14 seconds.
Welcome back to Cougar Stadium. Sean Fleming, that just attempted the field goal for the Cowboys, spent some time by himself there on the Cowboy bench. The consensus, didn't talk to any of the coaches, but some of the staff people around there, the consensus was Fleming improvised that fake punt earlier in the half and was ostracized, had some bench space, you might say.
Well, a little action on the right side or the left side of the line there. Garrett Touche ended up on the back side of those pants, a flag down.
And when you're 295 pounds and you move, it's tough to hide. And now, Coach Roger French is going to have a word with Touche. And it's hard to hide jogging off the field over to talk to the coach after you've made a mistake when you're that size, too.
So Kent Griffith, number 63, a 290-pound senior, replaces Touche. Detmer splits the seams. Matsuzaki stops at the 41-yard line.
Well, back to that thing with Fleming that Doug just informed us of. He did that on his own. We couldn't understand why a coach would call a call when you're tied up. And,
deep in your own territory.
Yeah, you're deep in your own territory. First of all, you have to run the football 10 yards just back to the line of scrimmage. So that was a big error by Fleming. As we take a look at that replay again, just working those underneath zones. Matsuzaki going down on a curl route. Very good protection that time by the offensive line for Brigham Young.
Tackle made by Boker, the free safety. Drage in motion, hasn't made a catch today. Detmer downfield, got a man. Tyler Anderson out of bounds. Incomplete at the 30-yard line.
Anderson working on Jermaine Hester that time down the sideline, had him beat, but the ball just a little too much for him to handle.
Detmer's numbers, 8 out of 15, 99 yards. No touchdown passes. Remember, he's thrown a touchdown in 31 consecutive games. Ty looking downfield. Mike over his shoulder. Boy, Ty aired that one out. Down to the 15-yard line. He threw that 50 yards plus.
Wyoming was rotating their zone to the right side of BYU's offense. They didn't have a free safety in the middle of the field, and Hester, he's going to get tired of running on those deep routes back there, playing man-to-man that time on Montezaki.
Kaufman back in for the punt at his own 25. Cowboys come in with a rush, and again, Kaufman lets this one fly. Edmond watches it bounce, and the Cougars couldn't down it.
It was Matt Zundel very close. That second bounce just took off. The first one kind of died. When you kick it that far, it's hard for coverage to beat down there. That's a long way for the cover team to run. And just as he got there, it took a quick second bounce. Kaufman's knee's looking okay on his punch. He's hobbling around a little bit there, but doesn't look like it's affecting his leg strength.
A 59-yard punt by Kaufman. Cowboys trailing 14-7, go back to work at their own 20-yard line. Carranzos under center on first down. The handoff to Hendricks, and he slashes off the right side, picks up 3, second down 7.
Wyoming has really hurt themselves here in the first half. Think about the fact they were down, knocking on the door to score, ready for a first down, and fumbled the football. And they basically gave BYU a gift touchdown on that punt, and they're still in the football game.
6:40 to play in the first half. Carranzos and Yarborough just over his outstretched fingertips. Crutchfield on the coverage at the 40-yard line.
You saw Yarborough visibly upset that time. Carranzos is really putting the juice on the football. He overthrew Yarborough working one-on-one on Pitts without anybody in the middle, and he's open. That ball should be on his chest. And that one a good 5 yards over his outstretched hands.
That slant pattern is there. He's got the speed to break it inside, and if Carranzos can just let up a little bit, that play's there. Third down. A quick flip to the tight end.
Well, that's going to be right at the first down marker.
Mike Jones makes the catch, number 81. They may have to measure here. Let's see where they place it. It's right on the nose of the 30.
And that should be a first because the ball was in the end zone. They brought it out to the 20. You've got to get exactly to that stripe for a first. Take a look at it. He just brings them underneath. This is what they've been successful at. The only ball Carranzos has been throwing well is that underneath one. And indeed, he does get just to that line with his shoulders and with the football. And that's about as close as you can come to putting it right on the sticks.
Guess who was on his ankles? Chad Hansen. Good protection. Cowboys. Carranzos throws it across the middle. Hansen and Giles there to make the stop on Yarborough. 6-yard pickup.
First time we've seen Carranzos able to stand back in the pocket for any length of time. Good protection that time. He could be patient and wait for Yarborough to work underneath. And by the way, Gomes is back in the football game at the nose position.
It's amazing what a good tape job on that ankle can do. Yarborough in motion. Second down, 3. Carranzos. Another dart to the far side of the field.
And that was a well-thrown football out there to Chad Detmer. Should have been caught. A lot of velocity on the ball that time. Just a quick drop. Carranzos has a strong arm. Now, if he catches that football, he's going to get a 1-yard gain anyhow because Derwin Gray is right there to make the play.
Third down for the Cowboys at their own 36-yard line. Carranzos rolls out, and the catch completed. Knocked out of bounds at the 43-yard line. But Jones, the tight end, that's the combination right now. The tight end and Carranzos.
That's the first time they've been able to have any bite at all on the contained man so that Kronsos could get out and turn his shoulders. You saw Brock come down a little bit, allow Kronsos to turn his shoulders and throw the football. It's the third time they've run it. That's the first time he's been able to even throw it.
Jan Hansen again made the stop. Another first down for the Cowboys at their own 43-yard line. 5:19 to play in the half. Hendricks tripped up by Jared Levitt. He'll pick up a couple down near the 46-yard line.
Hendricks was kind of crawling and stumbling his way. He got a good 4 yards on that one, and he actually was hit right at the line of scrimmage.
Hard to believe this is the Cowboys' season finale. 11 straight weeks, the only Division I team to play 11 straight weeks. The Cowboys played in the Copper Bowl last year, had a great season, 9 wins, 4 losses. Right now they're fighting to stay around the 500 mark. The pass blocked down at the line of scrimmage. Lenny Gomes got a hand up and blocked it down.
And boy, it was a good thing because Mike Jones, number 81, was running down the middle, and he was open. That's who Kronsos was going to go to. He had about a 3-step advantage on Giles, linebacker. You saw him there. If that ball gets out in front, there was no safety in the middle of the field. He would have been going until somebody could bring him down. I bet he would have gotten 35, 40 yards on that one.
Crowd getting vocal. 3rd down, 7. A little timing pass to Yarborough, and he beats Patrick Mitchell down to the 25-yard line. You talk about a lob pass, and Gomes is hurt again.
Looks like that same leg. He was in the face of the quarterback. Take a look at the pressure. Gomes splits the double team and comes in, but that's just a quick 2-step, let it fly out to Yarborough, working one-on-one on Mitchell to the outside. That was a very nice throw by Kronsos, especially with Gomes breathing down his neck.
Patrick Mitchell out of the game. Back in Paul Pitts. Mitchell, a freshman. A first down for the Cowboys at the 25-yard line. Big opener. Hendricks pulls his way up near the 13, tackled by Randy Brock. The right side tackle. And the Cowboys on the move here with plenty of time to go in the first half.
Well, watch the move at the end when Derwin Gray comes up to make the tackle. Hendricks, watch this last cut right here. Woof. He just makes Derwin Gray whiff down on the bottom, leaves him grabbing for grass, and he got an additional 7 yards after that move.
First down and 10 at the 12-yard line of Brigham Young. And Shad Hansen makes the stop. Looks like number 34, the ball carrier, Ryan Christopherson. He's the 3rd-string fullback.
Shad Hansen introduced himself quite well there. Big hit right at the line of scrimmage.
Yarborough on the day, 5 catches, 83 yards. A second down. Fumble. Rocky Beagle picks it up, and he rumbles to the 33. Hansen hit him, and Beagle recovered the fumble.
Beagle won't be able to advance that. It was behind the line of scrimmage.
The second fumble, the Cowboys have coughed up in scoring position.
And Kronsos actually, if you saw in the replay, let go of that football before he was hit. As he tried to duck, he hit the ball off of his leg and let it go. Beagle picks it up. But Doug, you're absolutely right. Behind the line of scrimmage, you cannot advance a fumble, so they get it at the point of the fumble. And Kronsos had a slant wide open.
That's a 3rd fumble recovery for Beagle this year. He's got a nose for that loose football. First down for the Cougars with just over 3 minutes to play. The quick pass to Tui Pelotu. He runs into Nadi Valdez near the first down marker. Give him 8 yards on the game.
By number 99.
Just a quick read by Detmer. He's reading deep to short. They cover deep, they drop off, so he comes underneath the Tuipulotu. He's not going to get out of bounds. He gets up there, and he has a guy on the sideline. He'll put his head right into him and let him know he was around.
2nd down 2 at the 31-yard line. Drage in motion. He's been quiet in this first half. Jamal Willis follows his blocker, still on his feet, up to midfield at the 50-yard line. Oh, boy, he waited too, Blaine, for Brian May.
Very good read by Willis that time. When you got May out there, you might as well use him. Take a look at how he uses May. 72 out in front. He's also got Tuje, who makes the nice first block. But Tuje just shrugged that guy off like it was nothing. He set that block up, and even though May didn't make the hit, he used him as a screen. That got him an additional 12 yards. Very smart run by the freshman.
I formation, back to the ground. Jamal Willis picks up a yard. Takes a dive inside the Cowboy territory at the 49-yard line. You keep saying that Lance Reynolds, the running back coach, says just the tip of the iceberg on this guy, huh?
He is going to be a fine one. I mean, he already looks good, but they expect just tremendous things from Jamal Willis. He's kind of thin in the upper body, too. He's very well built, but he has good-sized legs, but they figure he can go 220, and if he works hard, 225 before he's through here at BYU.
Willis lined up on the slot. Now they flip it to the tight end, Rex, and he's tackled at the 34-yard line. Byron Rex, a junior out of Bellflower, California, pulls down his 2nd catch of the day.
Detmer throws so well on the run. Not a beautiful spiral, but right there on Rex. When you're running full speed, for you young quarterbacks, you don't throw it out to lead the receiver. If you're running the same direction, you throw it right at him, and the momentum of your body carries the football right to the receiver. Detmer's so good at that.
Mike Gaines made the stop. Willis trying to turn the corner. Got a hole, 20, 15, down to the 10-yard line. And tip your hat to May and Tuje. Well, they opened up a hole, and again, Willis just waited and then popped right through it like a cork.
Good decision-making by May and Tuje. Both of them out there, they must have been communicating, because watch, each takes a man, boom, and Willis is right up between them. Use those blockers well. Stripped of the football, but out of bounds, fortunately for the BYU Cougars.
Brian Boker, the free safety, slapped it out of Willis's hand. Peter T. Touchdown.
Flag down over in the far corner of the end zone, but this time it'll be illegal participation against Wyoming.
Boy, nobody touched Peter Tuipulotu till he got to the goal line. His 6th touchdown by way of the ground this year. Jack Baker will try to clear up the flag, and Kaufman, you can see there, refuses the penalty.
Illegal substitution on the defense. Penalty is refused. Touchdown.
Great offensive line surge that time for BYU. Eli Herring threw a great block that time. And you're right, Craig, nobody touched Tuipulotu until he was at the 1-yard line.
Earl Kaufman. Kicks it through.
2 more flags down at the back of the end zone.
1:47 left to play in the half.
This time there was something said in the back of the end zone to one of the officials. One of the officials bowled it over, pointing a finger at one of the Wyoming players.
I think that player, Doug, is the right corner, Eric Edmond, number 5.
Number 5, you're exactly right.
There's 12 people on the field for Wyoming.
Participation.
That's the 4th call today.
Nope, I was wrong. Too many men on the field. It was number 5. It was trying to ease off there.
And the official did a smart thing. He made everyone stay on the field. He wouldn't let them come off. He made everyone stand on the field, and then he counted them as they were coming off the field so that the Wyoming coach wouldn't complain. You saw him counting himself, his assistant coach, as they came off the field. And sure enough, there were 12 men out there.
And that's the 4th call today for that particular incident.
I mean, that doesn't happen very often.
No.
Usually somebody's caught trying to get off the field, but illegal participation means they actually are in there, 12 people playing and participating in that play, and that is very unusual to have one of those. And you see 1 or 2 a season for a team, not 4 in a game for 2 teams.
Everybody just wants to get in the game.
Well,
one of those exciting games.
Well, for the Cowboys, this is it. I mean, you know.
Speaking of that, for the Cougars, I think everybody did get in today. I talked to one of the coaches beforehand. It looked like an unusual large number of Cougars dressed out today, and in fact, all of the freshmen are out. A couple of the red shirts have their jerseys on, get their picture taken. Let their girlfriends see them down along the sideline.
That does impress the ladies, does it not?
I'll say.
There's a look at that scoring drive. 6 plays, 77 yards in 1:26. Interesting how quickly they scored, yet the primary weapon on that drive was the run. Jamal Willis and then, of course, Peter Tuipulotu, but that was not one of those drives where they methodically threw the ball down the field. They ran the ball right at Wyoming in 1:26.
All 3 touchdowns today by Brigham Young on the ground. Detmer scored 1 in the first quarter from 1 yard out. Ran it in from 2 yards out. And now Peter T with a 13-yard touchdown to make it 21-7. Yarborough and Carranzos teamed up for the Cowboys' only score. Lever will kick from the Cowboy 45. And he chops it down to the goal line. And Patrick Mitchell makes the tackle at the 5. Edmond, a 5-yard return. Good coverage by Mitchell.
Everybody's high-fiving Mitchell, but they ought to go over and high-five Lever as well, because that was a great kick. He teed it up real high. He kicked underneath the ball and just dropped it in there. Forced Wyoming to run that football out. It dropped at the 1-yard line. That's exactly what they wanted to do after that 15-yard penalty. And so they ought to give Lever a few high-fives as well.
Well, they marked the ball just outside the 6-yard line. 1:41 to play in the first half. Cougars up 21-7. Hendricks off the right side.
Man, that's another one that'll give you a whiplash. You see that hit at the line. I couldn't see in the huddle, in the pile, who dealt it, but whew.
Tackle made by number 56, Jared Levitt, and number 99, Greg Pitt.
Looks like it was Levitt down there, Doug, that made that hit. We know he can hit.
Carranzos trots over to the sideline, a timeout.
I tell you what, when Jared Levitt hits you, the sound that it makes, you say when Jared hits, you go whack, and the runner goes black.
Doug, you stayed up all night on that one, didn't you?
Who's his writer? That BYU defense, we talked about Hansen and Beagle. The linebackers really the heart and soul of that defense, particularly those 2 middle guys. Shad Hansen, in terms of tackles in the conference, I mentioned, is the leader with 113. He's tied with Baron Wortham. But Rocky Beagle right up there, ranked number 9 in the conference with 85. 2 guys right up there. And both of those guys will hit you just as Levitt will.
Hansen, by the way, just a junior. Levitt, Beagle, and Giles, seniors. So Hansen will be back to anchor that linebacking spot next year. The pass caught and dropped by Mike Jones.
Greg Pitts wishes it wasn't a drop ball. He wanted to be caught and have a fumble. And a touchdown.
Yeah, those eyes got big as $half. Crutchfield on coverage. That stops the clock with 1:28 to play in the first half. Well, I can't remember the last time, at least this season, where we go to halftime and the Cougars' 3 scores have all been on the ground. Third down 7 at the Cowboy 10-yard line. Right up the middle go the Cowboys. Derek Baker, number 27, the fullback, on the carry up near the 15. Cowboys are going to be 3 yards shy.
BYU will take a timeout. They want that football back in minute 22. That's plenty of time for that BYU offensive machine.
Cougars with 1 timeout left in this half. The Cowboys still have all 3. It's 4th down 2 with a minute 22 to play. Realistically, you got a chance to have the ball back with a timeout at midfield and over a minute to play.
Fleming, he's got to be mentally on himself a little bit at this point.
You know, a little threat of rain still hanging around this afternoon, but what an incredible afternoon for practically mid-November. A lot of people here in Cougar Stadium in shirt sleeves today. Couldn't be much more in the mid-50s or so. Pleasant afternoon, no wind a factor. Field covered overnight in spite of some pretty good rain, in great condition. Looks like a 1st of September game.
Brad Clark at his own 45. Fleming will need to get a big boot off here. And the Cougars are going to be coming. A nice high kick. Clark takes it at his own 44. Breaks the tackle. And inside Wyoming territory at the 43-yard line.
Back to the Wyoming 44-yard line.
So the Cougars have a minute 11 to work here and a timeout.
Just to show you the leg strength, Fleming with a 3.84 hang time. Kaufman has been booming them this afternoon, both with about a 4.0 and a 4.1 and a 4.18, as I recall. Just gives you the comparison of how big Kaufman's leg can boom that ball in the air.
On 1st down, Detmer stands in the pocket, throws it to the far side. Mortensen makes the catch and steps out of bounds. That stops the clock with 1:04 to play in the half. Boy, a 7-yard gain for Mortensen on 1st down.
They're just about in field goal range right now for Earl Kaufman, the way he's kicking the football. And Ty Detmer's not done yet, I can tell you that. Just reading the defense from inside out, just trying to go down the middle. He's so good at finding receivers and keeping his head on a swivel.
Byron Rex down to the 31-yard line.
That ball was tipped at the line, too.
A 1st down for the Cougars. Good concentration, though, by Rex to haul it down. And the no-huddle offense. BYU, the clock stopped just to reset the change. And now it starts back up again. Detmer, good protection, going for the home run ball. Picked off and dropped. But a flag is down in the backfield. Byron Rex, the intended receiver, and Brian Boker, the free safety, went up, had the ball momentarily, and dropped it.
And that's holding territory back there. When you're back pass blocking for that length of time, and all of a sudden the flag comes out late right by the quarterback. You could bet that's going to be holding.
Here's Jack Baker.
Holding on the offense. Repeat 1st down.
Putting him back, that puts him out of field goal range again.
1st and 25 back at the 46. Mortensen and Tui Pelotu in the backfield. They both flush out. Detmer airs it out. He's got a man, Drage, and he kept the feet in. A 1st down at the 15-yard line. Drage, his 1st catch of the afternoon.
Detmer stepped back and let that one fly. Drage was still running a post route when Detmer let the football go. Then he broke with his left foot back to the outside on the corner. And Ty Detmer and Eric Drage improved their timing work together. Boy, Drage took a hit on the concrete of that stadium at the end of that catch, didn't he?
1st and 10 at the 15. Detmer stands in that pocket, fires up to Matsuzaki. Touchdown! Oh, what a catch!
he just wanted that one more than Edmund did. Detmer let it go up, and when Ty Detmer threw that to Matsuzaki, I have to admit, halfway there, I thought, who's Ty throwing the ball to? He's well covered. Take a look at that concentration.
Did the
great camera work, guys.
Watch the hit Matsuzaki takes from Detmer.
Took a big hit after that from Detmer, but boy, did great camera work. You saw Matsuzaki's toe just inside that sideline. What a great catch.
Joe Evans will hold. The kick is up, and Kaufman is 4 for 4 on the afternoon. Matsuzaki hauls down his first touchdown catch of the season. Detmer throws his 23rd touchdown pass. And watch the reaction here.
Okay, Detmer's got to be lurking someplace. Here he comes.
Oh. Hello, Micah.
What a hit, huh?
Oh, that was a harder hit than
that'll bring tears to your eyes.
That he's taken all year. Look, he's got to go over to have a drink after that one.
28-7. The Cougars have erupted here for 3 touchdowns in the second quarter, and Detmer's streak continues, 30 straight games with a touchdown pass.
BYU's coaching staff coming out of the press box on the way over to the bench ahead of the halftime. Talked to Claude Bassett. He says it's a little bit of change, some formations that they're not familiar with. It's kind of confusing BYU's defensive line, but he says we'll make some adjustments. Also, he says we're a little lethargic. Maybe it's the heat wave after the last couple of weeks.
36 seconds to play in the half, and it didn't take the Cougars long. They played it just right. They took the timeout. The stall got good field position, and Detmer hits Matsuzaki with the touchdown. The ball out of bounds at the 6-yard line.
They'll probably take it out at 35. Detmer to this point, Craig, 15 of 24 for 191 yards, 1 touchdown, and no interceptions. So another great passing efficiency day for Detmer.
And he's also run a couple TDs in, too. It took him 1:08 to get in the end zone. Cougars have won 6 in a row, looking for number 7 next week. It looks like the showdown in San Diego. And then BYU will finish up the season against Utah right here at home. Carranzos lines up shotgun. 36 seconds to play in the half. Stands in that pocket. Yarborough smartly runs it out of bounds at the 42. That stops the clock with 27 seconds to play.
Bassett's right. You know, it seems like these guys play the smartest, sharpest game when the weather is inclement. It's cold, it's rainy or snowing. The shirt sleeve weather today, they're just, he says, a little lethargic that first half. We'll speak to him about it.
You know, they just like to sit back and enjoy that nice weather.
Second down, 3. Carranzos through the hands of his tight end, Mike Jones. You know, Doug, I was just going to say it doesn't help when you're wearing sunglasses and putting sunning tan lotion on down there.
Just before you go in the huddle.
Yeah. I mean, you're not setting a good example down there. You're
basking here on the sidelines. It is a little unusual. I came with my parka and, you know, wore my best boots.
I noticed you had your hunting boots on down there, Doug. I wasn't going to mention it.
Nice tread, huh?
Third down, 3. A high snap. Carranzos all time to throw. Runs it out of the pocket. Hanson's got the angle on him. Now he throws it down to his tight end. And the catch pulled in by Jones. A first down for the Cowboys. 11 seconds now to work with before halftime.
That play took forever to get off. There was over 20 seconds on the clock. We're going to finish up with 11. He's just standing there. BYU only rushes 3 that time, and they put 8 people back in coverage. Boy, was that a duck or what? That was. But it doesn't matter if the ball spirals or not. As long as it's on the receiver, Jones puts it in, and they're getting close to field goal range here.
Cougars drop 8 players back. Carranzos, boy, threads the needle. Nice pass and a timeout. The catch made by Dennis Ross. a first down at the Cougar 29, and boy, I tell you, got to like the way that Carranzos threw that ball in traffic. BYU dropped 8 players back, and now Wyoming with a chance to get a field goal here before we go to halftime.
With 8 people, and they're trying to protect the sidelines. Wyoming had 1 timeout left, knew they could go down the middle. So they call it as soon as the catch is made. Ross makes that timeout call. That was a dart Carranzos threw down the middle.
There's a timeout. Looks like the Cougars have walked over to the sideline. 5 seconds on the clock. Sean Fleming in to try the field goal. This one will be a 46-yard attempt.
You know, that 52-yarder earlier had plenty of distance. That was not the problem at all. It was just left. That would have been good from 60 had it been down the middle.
This will tie his longest kick of the season. He's booted a 46-yarder earlier. He's now 10 of 20 on the year after missing that 52-yarder earlier. John Fleming. Good snap, good hold. And the kick is good. Fleming from 46 yards out. And both teams exchanged some late points here, and the half is over. The Cougars go to the locker room up 28-10. We'll come back. The Cougars lead it by 18.
You're watching BYU football on
an investment in their future. But could we be selling them short? Who can answer the hard questions, such as who's getting rich from the sale of state school lands? It isn't the children. Beginning Monday, Probe 5 investigative specialist Con Saras looks at who profits from the sale of state school lands. Watch Blind Trust on the Eyewitness News at 10.
This is BYU football on KSL television. Brought to you by 7-Eleven Citgo Quality Gasoline. By your local Weinigers, Allen Super Safe, Bestway, Foodtown, Macy's, and Thriftway stores. Members of Associated Food Stores. By R.C. Willey, we simply sell for less. And by your Wasatch Front Ford dealers, where you can see the 1992 lineup of quality Ford cars and trucks.
Back at Cougar Stadium, ready to start the second half here. Keith Lever will kick it away. Cowboys went to the locker room after a 46-yard field goal by Sean Fleming. They'll get the football right back. And Lever gives it a boot. Dennis Ross downs it. And the Cowboys will start up on their own 20-yard line. All right, let's take a look at the Utah Honda dealers halftime summary. Total yards, the Cougars with 291, the Cowboys 248, and the turnovers, Blaine, do kind of jump out and get you. The Cowboys with 2 fumbles, and the Cougars with the penalties, 7 for 75 yards.
One interesting stat, the rushing yards for the Cougars, over 100 yards there in the first half at 112. Jamal Willis was 67 of those on his own.
Carranzos will start up the second half. He'll go to the air. No flags down. Crutchfield got tied up with Yarborough down near the 25-yard line. Carranzos, his numbers, 197 yards. He was 16 of 31. Sacked, though, Blaine, 3 times.
By the way, Craig, Sean Fleming's field goal at the end of that first half now gives him 309 points for his career. That breaks the WAC scoring record that was held by John Harvey of UTEP from 85 to 88. So he is the all-time WAC leader in scoring.
Second down, 10. Flags are down. Yarborough dances in traffic, makes the catch, and downed at the 27-yard line. But a flag down at the 20. Yarborough, what a half. 7 catches for 94 yards. Illegal motion against Wyoming.
Yarborough earned every one of those yards, too. There were not a lot of deep balls thrown to him.
Motion on the offense. Repeat second down.
his work's been cut out for him. He's been catching those underneath balls and having to do something with it.
And looking on down the individual leaders in the first half, Earl Kaufman, boy, 4 punts, 46.5-yard average, and his longest was a 59-yarder. Cowboys go to the shotgun. 2nd down, 15. Early minutes here of the third quarter. That snap is up and over Carranzo's head. Recovered end zone. Is that Jared Levitt? Touchdown. The danger of the shotgun right there. And Jared Levitt turns the fumble into 6.
In the first half, Carranzo's had to handle a couple of high snaps. Best thing he could have done here, just smack it out of the back of the end zone and not try to pick it up as he did. You're better off taking a safety and punting the ball away. Jared Levitt had a beat on that football all the way. That ball was 5 yards over the top of Carranzo's head on the snap.
Quentin Skinner, the center, looked like he was getting ready to a snap for a punt instead of the shotgun. Kaufman, a perfect 5 for 5 today. And the Cowboys turn it over again, and the Cougars turn it into points. Jared Levitt smiling on the sideline.
At Warner Christensen Chevrolet Buick Geo, we think buying a car should be easy. Warner Christensen Chevrolet Buick Geo. We make car buying easy at 2125 North University Parkway in Provo.
If all you want are tools that last through this weekend's project, buy them anywhere. But if you want tools that will perform for a lifetime, backed by service and experience, there's only one place to buy them: Industrial Supply. Stanley Proto super heavy-duty tool chests and cabinets are now on sale. They're built to last with a full line of quality features like heavy-duty steel construction and extra-wide casters. Also see the new Stanley long measuring tapes. 50, 100, and 150-foot lengths are now available. There's only one place to buy the right tools: Industrial Supply.
What's behind your neighborhood independent supermarket? The biggest buying power in the Intermountain West. And because we buy more than anyone else, we can sell for less. This week, you'll save on refreshing Tropicana sparklers are just 99 cents. Save on Skippy family-size peanut butter, on sale for $5.99. Dishes get cleaner with palm olive dish liquid. 42-ounce bottles are $1.99. And super cleaning Whisk Power Scoop detergent is only $4.59.
So buy all you want. We'll get more at Foodtown, Thriftway, and Bestway.
35-10 here. 29 seconds into the third quarter. A fumble recovery in the end zone by Jared Levitt, and the Cougars have really opened the gap. 35-10. This game is being brought to you by the Dairy Farmers of Utah, who remind you that milk does a body good. Oh, a collision at the 20-yard line. Ross brought it upfield. And Todd Hergert, number 36. What a pop.
That's his second big stick. He was the one that made the first one in the first half. I like the way Dennis Ross runs back those kickoffs. He makes no bones about it. He is going to go as fast as he can possibly go up that field and get what he can. And obviously not afraid of being hit.
You know, Cowboys played San Diego tough last week at Jack Murphy Stadium. They lost that game 24-22. And now they're wrapping up the season here in Provo. Carranzos in trouble, spins out of trouble. On the run, gets the ball to his tight end. Rocky Beagle and Giles, well, they put a blanket on him. Matt Swinson made the catch, didn't get far.
BYU has scouted that bootleg. They call it a naked bootleg. When you don't pull any linemen out in front of you, you just hope the backside guy takes the fake. And each time there has been someone there to take care of Carranzos. That time he ducks Brock, makes a great individual play. They're going to have to rethink that particular route, either pull a lineman out in front to help out or not run it at all. It's not fooling BYU's defense.
Second down, double slot to the left. They go to the ground and give the ball to Hendricks, the freshman out of Arlington, Texas, and they get the first down. This will test the character of a ball club. They open up down 18, and less than a half a minute into the third quarter, they cough it up. Cougars score, and now they've got to go back to work. It's a long road ahead. Understand, too, that Robert Rivers, their top receiver, number 24, will not play in this second half. He was questionable when the day started, but suffered an ankle injury last week. Harris gets the call, turns the corner, and picks up a couple.
I had a chance to talk to Rivers as he left the field there at the end of the first half. I asked him if he's going to play, and he said, no, man, I think I'll give it a rest. He's still limping pretty good. It's actually not an ankle injury. They say it's an arch injury that can be even more painful than the ankle.
And, Doug, that's got to be a tough decision. Blaine, too. I mean, he's a senior. This is it.
Yeah, this is his last game.
No postseason play. This is the last game in a uniform for the Cowboys. But obviously, if you can't go, you know you're only hurting your team to try and make it work.
Play action. The Cougars send the rush, and a good read by Hansen to pull down Jim Pennington, the fullback, near the 40-yard line. A pickup of 1 for Pennington.
They ran that naked bootleg again. Watch the fake here. He turns around, and again, Brock right in his face. He's had to make some tough throws. And when he has completed the ball, the inside backers, Hansen and Beagle, have been able to scrape to the outside and get to the short receiver on that side. That time it was Pennington, the fullback.
Third down 6 at the Cowboy 39. Carranzos fires to Yarborough, dropped the ball at the 45. The Cowboys will punt. Carranzos just a little bit behind on the throw to Yarborough. And again, though, isn't that a touch pass, Blaine? I mean, that was a little bit too strong for that, for what, five or 6 yards out?
5-yard ball, just enough for the first down. If you're going to catch a ball that's behind you, it's got to have some touch on it. If you throw it that hard behind a guy, I mean, he threw that as hard as he could from 5 yards away. Yarborough didn't even have a chance.
Fleming back on to kick at his own 25, a low snap. He hangs it up there. Clark underneath it, calls for the fair catch at the 26.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'll tell you, there's a special teams player right there, Brad Clark. Ty Detmer trots back on the football field.
First time for the BYU offense, and they've already got 7 points on the board this half.
First down, Tui Pelotu cuts it off the left side, bulls down to the 34-yard line. Well, what a run. Picks up 6 big yards on first down.
Tackle is made by number 99, Mike.
And Peter T. will punish you as you come up to tackle. There's no reason as a back that you can't dish out as much punishment as you have to take. Watch at the end of this run, Boker is going to come up and try to help out on the tackle or check that. That's Marcellus. Oh, it is Boker here. Now watch the punishment. The Tui Pelotu dishes out to the safety as he comes up and tries to help out on that tackle.
Jamal Willis right up the middle behind Pay and May. A first down at the 45-yard line.
Just the explosive up the middle speed. The first couple of games that Willis was involved in here at BYU, everyone kept asking me during the week, can he run inside? Can he run inside? Because all he did was run sweeps. I think he's proven in the last 2 or 3 games he can run it inside or outside. It doesn't matter. He's a great running back.
The backs were split on first down. Detmer. Play action. In that pocket. Fires her dart to Byron Rex at the 40, the 35, and he stretches out to the 33-yard line.
Oh, boy. Rex so close to losing that. It spurted out in front of him, and he speared it right there in front of his body.
He's going to be sitting in the zone right in between the two linebackers. Watch him. He finds a soft spot, gets his hands up. Detmer was looking out to the right and comes back and finds that big soft spot in the zone right over the middle. And you see what Doug talked about there at the end of the run, Rex almost let it go, but he found that spot. That hole in the middle in that zone was about 20 yards wide that time.
Brent Schiffer hit him from behind and popped that ball loose. Rex able to gather it back in. Willis on the sweep. Takes the block from Touche and finally brought down at the 30-yard line. Jamal Willis picks up 3. Second down, 7 at the Cowboy 30.
How'd you like to be Junior Marcellus on that one? From a strong safety, he's coming up for run support. And here comes big Touche out around the corner, running full speed right at you. He did a nice job of taking him on that time.
Clock running with 9:40 to play in the third quarter. Second down, Detmer wants to throw. Going for the home run ball. He's got a man. Drage, incomplete. Good coverage there.
I think they'll call pass interference on Drage on that.
Eric Edmond in position and a flag down in the end zone.
Looked like Drage had his hands on the back. Edmond was in better position to catch the football than was Drage. Looks like Drage had his hands on the back of the defensive back and pushed off. So
today's attendance, 65,593. Against Edmond.
Interference on the defense. 15 yards from the previous spot. First down.
Wow. That's a surprising call, don't you think, Craig?
Interesting.
Both players were jockeying for position. I think it was the freeze frame that the official found that he saw the contact.
Let's take a look at it. I mean, they both look in decent position. See him running here.
There's a push off. Oh, I don't know.
That's a tough one. He's looking back at the football. The only thing he may have called is when Edmond put that left hand out to kind of clear Drage off. But I don't think there should have been any call there.
A first down to the pitch. A reverse. Matsuzaki. Detmer throws a block. Micah turns it. 5. Touchdown.
Detmer's just as happy to have thrown that great block as to throw a touchdown pass. He sprung him.
Oh, trickery by Lavelle Edwards. And it caught the Cowboys one more time.
This is what you can do when you've got a great sweep threat with Jamal Willis. The whole defense is just flowing. Now watch this block by Detmer on Marcellus. Great job, and the Touge's out there in front as well. Detmer was blocking when Matsuzaki was in the end zone.
Brian Booker couldn't get around Ty, and Kaufman punches it through. And the Cougars take a 42-10 lead. Micah Matsuzaki with a big smile on that face. 9:24 to play in the third.
Channel 5 presents Your Health Today. This segment sponsored by HCA St. Mark's Hospital.
Arthroscopy, the use of a remote video-producing instrument to view the inner workings of the knee, has been a useful diagnostic tool to physicians for many years. It has especially helped sports medicine experts pinpoint injuries. Today, improved technology has broadened the role of arthroscopy.
Major scientific advancements, including very miniaturized microprocessor cameras, improved instrumentation, and new high-speed power equipment, have extended the uses of arthroscopy to include surgical repair of the knee and other joints, such as the shoulder, elbow, wrist, and ankle. Arthroscopy surgery is most beneficial when combined with effective rehabilitation. Patients who fully comply with their doctor's recommendations for exercise and physical therapy will more quickly resume the activities they enjoy.
To learn more, call HCA St. Mark's, your Center for Excellence in Orthopedics, at 268-7777.
A new Ford Escort LX for $99.99. Which Escort LX? It's the price of the 3-door, the new 4-door sedan, the 5-door, and even the wagon. That's right, it's your choice. 4 Escorts, 1 price. And all equipped with air conditioning, AM/FM stereo radio, power steering, rear defroster, power mirrors, and more. Have you ever wished buying a car could be this easy? Have you driven a Ford lately?
Back in Provo, 42-10. The Cougars have scored 2 quick touchdowns here to start the second half. One, compliments of the Cowboys, and the second, compliment of a little trickery. Jamal Willis, then he reversed it back to Micah Matsuzaki. Detmer threw a big block, and Cougars back in the end zone. 42-10.
You know, Craig, that's all we'll hear about when we see Detmer now, is what a great block he threw. He's always telling me how strong he is, you know, that great strength he has.
He is a powerful, powerful man.
Yeah.
Today's game is being brought to you by SOS Temporary Service, Utah's largest temp service. Keith Lever gives it a boom. And Ross downs it.
Let's take a look at that touchdown again. The pitch out to Willis. Look at the pursuit from the backside. They think it's going out to Willis. It's been effective. Detmer with a big block, getting in the way out there. And then down toward the end zone, Jermaine Hester was working on Tujay. You're going to see him on the left side of the screen. He just kind of said, well, Tujay, I don't want to have anything to do with this play. Just leave me alone.
5 plays, 73 yards. And Matsuzaki runs it in from 15 out. Carranzos with the long count. Chad Hansen comes in strong, throws it downfield, and overthrows Yarborough.
Number 25, Ernest Taylor.
Let's go downstairs. Doug Miller.
One of the Cougar greats here on the sidelines for this game, Matt Bellini. And Matt, you had a try with the Giants this year and didn't make the physical cut. Kind of tough standing on the sidelines here, huh?
Well, yeah, it is. It's nice to come back, and you know, I've played my years, and it's nice to come home and see the home crowd and get in the fix of the game. It's really nice to be here.
All right, we're going to watch this play here real quickly. Craig, and I want him to analyze that double reverse. He watched it. Hang on just a second.
Carranzos in the shotgun on second down. The tight end, Jones, makes the catch. And Matt Bellini, you may have yourself a job. Do a little analyzing for us.
Yeah, you see all those plays in practice. They never get rolled out in the game. How come today?
Well, they've been setting it up all day, running the sweep for some big yards. And I think you get people over pursuing, coming over too hard. And they snuck Micah back around him, and easy sailing in the end zone.
That was a sweet play, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I wish I had run one of those.
What are you doing now? You told me not to ask you.
I'm not doing a whole lot of anything. I just graduated from school, looking for work, pretty picky, and I'm just living, relaxing.
Matt Bellini, best of luck to you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Back to the ground. Hendricks takes it up to the 35, and a first down for Wyoming. Boy, Bellini, he put some good years in at BYU, did he not?
He really did. He is the all-time leading receiver for BYU. A man with great hands. Not physically great hands, as you remember. He was in an automobile accident, and hands were just hammered, really. But what great hands catching the football. We can count on Matt Bellini.
He actually has a couple of artificial knuckles in his right hand. It's amazing he was able to do the things he did.
And that's why he didn't pass the physical with the Giants, because of his leg and hand injuries.
Those knuckles brass?
Sometimes you thought they were. Giles makes the stop on Jones. A pickup of 5 down to the 40-yard line. Well, Jones has been busy today.
I think Blaine had mentioned that earlier, just what Matt Bellini said. Boy, they set it up with Jamal Willis with that kind of weapon. It just sets the stage for that double reverse.
Wyoming's been able to complete that over-the-middle quick ball, even in good coverage. If the throw is there, the tight end's going to have position on the linebacker and be able to bring that in.
7:40 to play in the third quarter. Hendricks, the handoff, and he is popped at the line. Giles got him, along with Brock.
Randy Brock, great redshirt freshman over there on the defensive line for BYU. They expect great things out of him. He's another one of these guys that they expect to put on 20 or 30 pounds. Now you're talking, and look at this hit. Great physical tackle, wrapped up, hit him in the numbers. When you talk about putting 20, 30 pounds on Randy Brock, you're talking about a 290-pounder over there on defense before he's through.
6'6", 250. Hendricks slips and falls. He'll lose a yard. Shad Hansen and Greg Pitts there. Now, we've talked about how this school has turned out such great quarterbacks. In fact, last week's SI ranked Steve Young as the greatest college quarterback of all time. They put out some pretty good linebackers.
Sure have.
Oh, a low snap. Nice pickup by Fleming and a nice kick. Clark calls for the fair catch. He'll let it bounce, and the Cowboys are going to get a good roll out of this one. They touch it and down it at the 9-yard line.
That was about as perfect a spiral as you can hit. That was a beautiful kick.
So the Cougars start up on their own 9-yard line. When we come back, 6:15 to play in the third quarter.
Ich mag das Schöne dieser Welt. Ich mag den Wind im Roggenfeld. Ich mag es, wenn der Tag erwacht und die Sonne dazu lacht. Ich mag plaudern am Nachmittag, Obstkuchen mit Schlag. Ich mag die Lichter meiner Stadt. Diskutieren bis in die Nacht, lass mich von deinem Duft verführen, deine Wärme spüren. Caro, ich mag dich. Du bist einfach gut. Caro, der korngesunde Landkaffee.
In Provo, Dwight Christie is a Piper stockbroker who understands you. Understanding you comes first at Piper, Jaffray, and Christie.
The 92 models are here at Tri-City Ford, and to make room, we're clearing out the 91s at incredible savings. Save thousands on a new 91 Ford truck. We have very low overhead, so you figure it out. Who sells Ford cars and trucks for less? Looking for a new Ford? See the other Ford dealer, Tri-City Ford at American Ford.
Citgo gasoline with advanced HTA 1000 will help your car run cleaner longer. Buy Citgo gasoline in regular unleaded or premium just down the street at your participating neighborhood 7-Eleven.
It's the right route. It's the right choice. Provo City, the move is going on.
Now you're looking out at the offensive line of the Wyoming Cowboys. Tough afternoon. It's 42-10, and the Cougars with the ball at their own 8-yard line. They go to the ground, pick up a couple. Well, your best play is to shop at Macy's and watch for our best play, Macy's Play of the Game, later in today's broadcast. Been some big plays in this one, huh? Utah on top of New Mexico. Look at that, 30-7 in the fourth, and Air Force leads Army.
Air Force has a lock on that. Look at Weber State doing 35-7 at the half.
Second down 7 for Detmer. Rolls out, flips the ball, nearly picked off. He was looking for Drage down near the 30-yard line. And Corey Talich stepped in. That's the third time today Detmer flirted with an interception.
You know, his interception, touchdown to interception ratio this year is outstanding with only 7 interceptions and before the game 22 touchdowns. Much better than last year's. And 3 opportunities now for interceptions here in this game, but he keeps his streak alive without throwing an interception.
Detmer's numbers: 23 touchdowns, 7 picks through the first 9 games. Drage wide open. He went right back to that same pass, and he worms his way up near the 31-yard line. Same play.
Drage was just out there working in the zone underneath safety. Junior Marcellus, the strong safety. Real deep drop by Marcellus, and Drage just pulled it up underneath. People wonder about Detmer's arm strength. When he has to throw that crossing route and underneath ball, he really does have a good arm. Take a look. That one's on a line about 20 yards over the middle, right in front of Marcellus.
Peter Tuipulotu on the draw. Well, he has a big burst of speed, picks up the first down, and hauled down at the 43-yard line. You know, you talk about Jamal Willis, his explosive abilities, Peter T can get off the mark.
He really can. He hits the line of scrimmage as quick as anybody you'll see. Tuipulotu's a punishing running back, more so than Willis probably at this point. And he's not afraid to run right into you and make you pay for making that tackle.
Flags are down. Willis, a lot of running room at the 50-40, and he's banged down at the 38-yard line.
We talk about waiting for your blockers. That time he made the right decision. If you got that outside lane wide open, just turn on the juice and go, as he did that time.
Offside on the defense. Penalty is refused. First down.
Now you look at the, as you take a look at Joe Tiller, Wyoming's front line, those front four, Blaine averaged 256 a man. BYU's offensive front, 286, 30-pound per man difference. Nadi Valdez in motion on first down. Detmer with a quick drop. The catch made by Mealy, but another flag flies and lands in the backfield down near the 44-yard line.
You can bet that's another holding. Boy, BYU's been plagued by holding penalties this year. Let's take a look at it and see if we can find that hold. He threw it on the right side of that offensive line. Mealy was just sitting in the zone underneath. And Wyoming has big gaps in their zone. They're bringing 4 people and dropping off 7, and there's big gaps in underneath coverage. BYU's taking advantage of that all afternoon.
They spot the ball back on the Cougar 47. First and 26. Peter Tuipulotu, the lone back. Detmer, all kinds of time. Nadi Valdez breaks open. Runs it down to the 26-yard line. A first down for Brigham Young. And Nadi Valdez brings up a chunk of turf on that face mask.
Sometimes you wonder, they get a penalty. You have to wonder if Detmer sits there and thinks, so what, just more yards for us to get. First and 26, they get it all on first down. And again, they go and make a pressure step to the outside with Valdez and bring it back into that middle zone. I mentioned it before, that zone in the middle has been wide open all day long.
Eric Edmond made the stop on Valdez. Eric Mortensen checks in. He's the tailback in the I. He gets the call, shakes a tackle up to the 24-yard line.
Come on now.
42-10, and the clock running here with just over 3 minutes to play in the third quarter. Crowd has been unusually quiet all day. Close game early, but the Cougars have really opened it up. Tie back to the air, going for Tyler Anderson. Touchdown! And Detmer gets his lick in on Tyler. Tie to Tyler.
And that was an audible call, Craig. Ty Detmer came up to the line of scrimmage, saw the free safety out of position, called an audible, knew exactly where he was going. Look at him look to the left, though. He knows he's going to go down the middle to the post, but he looks the defense off so he can clear it out even more for Tyler Anderson. Works that secondary with his eyes, and Anderson comes up with a big grab.
Just over the fingers of Eric Edmond, the right corner. Lever now will kick instead of Kaufman, and that kick is good. 49-10. And Tyler Anderson pulls down his third touchdown catch of the season. Detmer now with 2 touchdown throws. He's run in a couple.
There's a huge flock of seagulls that's gathered right over Cougar Stadium, and some of the fans here along the west side are joking that the seagulls have gathered to pick up the pieces of pokes left on the field.
I was going to ask if there's any crickets down there.
Been a long, disappointing season for Wyoming. I tell you, maybe you heard in the pregame show we talked about it, an incredible loss for this team of 21 athletes who have undergone surgery at some time during the year. 6 of them have been career-ending kind of injuries. 2 concussions that put players out for careers. Just one of those deals, you know, and they say, what causes it? Where did it come from? Conditioning problems? They don't think so. It's just one of those years.
And give Joe Tiller some credit for even pulling this team together. 4-5-1 as they started this season, or started this game today. Lever gives it a boot. Harris takes it back up to the 23. And here's Ty's touchdown to Tyler Anderson.
As I mentioned, look at him look to the left. Now, he knows from the beginning. He called that audible so he could throw that post pattern to Tyler Anderson. And he looks the defense off. So smart with his eyes. And that wasn't bad man-to-man coverage by Edmond. But Anderson has that deep speed to get down the middle on that post. If you don't have help, he'll hurt you. 9 plays and 91 yards, Greg, on that drive.
And thanks to Orville Powler, our statistician, Ty Detmer on that pass just passed the 3,000-yard passing mark for the 3rd consecutive season. Amazing. Carranzos across the middle. Ross breaks it open. He's got speed. The 30, the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Cowboys.
And did Dennis Ross show some speed or what? They had a substitution, Peter Rowe, in at quarterback, and on his first throw, he gets 6 points. They've run that route all day. This time, Crutchfield tries to strip the football and misses the tackle. Now, Paul Pitts is very quick. Number 22, it's here on the chase. That gives you an idea of the speed of Dennis Ross. He just outran Pitts all the way to the end zone.
Well, they snuck Peter Rowe in, and on the 2-deep chart, John Gustin, a freshman, they list as a backup to Carranzos, but Rowe comes in and makes a big impact. He's a senior out of Waco, Texas, and he puts the Cowboys on the board in just a matter of seconds. 49-17 with 2:42 to play in the 3rd quarter.
Well, stats look good for today. How's that for pass efficiency?
You're not kidding.
1 throw, 1 complete, 1 touchdown.
Detmer's numbers, by the way, 18 of 28, 269 yards and the 2 touchdowns. He needed 252 to get to 3,000 today. The numbers are in the sense, if you look at the Heisman year last year, Blaine, we talked about this before the game. No, the numbers of yardage is not there, but efficiency, last year he was criticized for the interceptions. This year, he's going on his 4th game without a pick.
The media tries to look for something. If you're the man, if you're the Heisman Trophy winner, they try to find a chink in the armor. I think he's playing better this year than he did last year. And that supporting cast is getting better every game.
Another kick out of bounds, and the Cougars will start up with excellent field position at the 35. It's been a rough day for Bill Gould, number 50.
Thought I was going to field that here.
Should have taken it, Doug, and run.
I was ready.
Doug, what's the latest on Irvin Lee?
They say that Irvin Lee has a flu, probably. Abdominal pain, some nausea. They took him in the locker room. He didn't want to shower. He's still dressed out on the sidelines, but he will not play. Gomes, they say, that you saw limp off the field the first half. Just a sprained ankle. No real problem. He's got the ankle taped, and he's been playing.
Well, with a 49-17 lead, Lavelle Edwards keeps his first team unit in the football game. Detmer at quarterback. Drage in motion on first down. The quick flip to Peter Tuipulotu. Breaks a tackle. Puts the helmet down and reaches out near the first down marker. Oh, what an effort by Peter T.
I know I've said it over and over again, but every time he gets the football and runs across, he's trying to punish somebody for tackling him. He is as aggressive as the defenders are. It's just a quick flip. The linebackers come, and that read is for Detmer to get it out to Peter Tuipulotu on that blitz. And look what he does to Marcellus here. He's not going to give up. He's going to run right through the man and get the first down.
Well, Tommy Kramer missed him, and that gave Peter Tuipulotu the break he needed.
Check that. That's 9 3/4 yards he got. He didn't quite get that first down.
Missed it by 3 laces of the football. Clock running, under 2 minutes left to go, third quarter. Jamal Willis and Peter T. in the backfield. Now Mealy in motion. Oh, Peter Tuipulotu spinning inside Cowboy territory at the 49. Well, he was stopped at the line of scrimmage, rolled off a tackler, spun his way down to the 49. A first down for Brigham Young.
Tell you what, the weather that's been threatening all afternoon looks like it's closing in now, and a stiff breeze has picked up, blowing north from the north, left to right as you look at the field.
Well, Doug, you predicted no rain until the end of the fourth quarter, so we're going to see how good you are on weather.
Cougars in the I formation. Jamal Willis, oh, ducked out of a tackle, breaks another one, and is tackled finally at the 37. And there's a little skirmish along the far side of the field. Now flags are thrown. Peter Tuipulotu in the middle of things there, along with number 74 Garrett Touget.
Well, Willis that time did a nice little duck under move. He is something else. Does he remind you of Eric Dickerson?
I tell you, the first time I saw him. You know, Dickerson now suspended, by the way, for 4 games because he refused to practice.
Dead ball.
Unbelievable.
Personal foul on the defense. Dead ball. Personal foul on the offense. Penalties offset. First down.
Why even throw the flag then? That's my question. You throw the flag. If you're going to call it both, because it was 1 flag, it wasn't 2 flags, you're going to call it both. Why even throw it? Just tell the guys to settle down. Take a look at that last play. Jamal Willis, nice little duck move under the inside backer for Wyoming. And he does. He runs just like Eric Dickerson. He keeps those legs. He got that high knee upright style.
Very good posture as you run. Willis out of the tailback spot, breaks a tackle, and downed at the 34. Another flag down.
You talk about Eric Dickerson. How would it be to have the kind of salary that you just, well, let's just find him for 4 games. 4 game salary for Eric Dickerson, which you won't get $500,000. $500,000 for 4 games.
Granted, the Colts are having a nightmare of a season, but they pay you to play.
10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Jack Baker's been busy. 54 seconds left in the third quarter. Yeah, how do you like to have it if Detmer comes to Coach Edwards and says, not going to practice?
He didn't even tell him. He just didn't even show up.
Doesn't show up.
I'm not going to come. And they rely on him. He is the whole offense in Indianapolis. If he doesn't show up, what are you going to do at practice? So.
Play action. Detmer on the rollout. Peter T. at the 17-yard line. 1, 2, 3. Makes it look easy. Detmer closing in on 300 yards passing.
Just thought I'd comment. He's having such a good... He's two away from Todd Santos' all-time completion record. He's breaking more records again. He is so good at throwing on the run. Moving to the right, he can pick the receiver out and put it right on. How good is he? Well, Earl Bruce last week after he faced him with Colorado State said that Ty Detmer is the best he had ever seen.
Did you hear some of those comments from Earl?
Yeah, he said when he was at Ohio State, he faced John Elway and all the good ones and had some of the best right there in his conference.
The best I've ever seen.
He said he's the best without a doubt.
Detmer to Peter T. on the draw, and Tuipulotu down to the 10-yard line. He'll be 2 yards shy of the first down. That may do it here in the third quarter. Clock running down.
Just a trap. You see Brian May is going to come across, big 72. Going to make the trap block. Now what makes that play possible, Greg Peters for Wyoming overruns the play. Big number 91. Tuiplo just able to sidestep him and get up and use that block of Brian Mays on the trap to get some yardage.
Well, we've got timeout after 3 quarters of play. The Cougars with a 49-17 lead.
You can save money on long distance with Telemerica. That's all we want to say. Unfortunately, our competitors spend a ton of money on TV arguing about how much, when, and even if there's a difference in long-distance rates. Well, there is. If you use Telemerica, you'll save money. Now, since our rates are so low, we can't run our commercials as often as they run theirs. So please tape this and play it back next time you get one of their long-distance bills.
My glasses seem to hate me, and I've got the marks to prove it.
Why put up with glasses that just don't fit? LensCrafters brings you better fit, greater comfort. LensCrafters glasses fit your snug points with snug fit temples, snug fit flex pads, and snug fit flex hinges. Why put up with glasses that just don't fit?
I never knew glasses could be this comfortable.
LensCrafters, better fit, greater comfort in about an hour.
Today is a beautiful day. You have 3 beautiful children. They look like you, but they're going to be doctors. Can your life get any better? Yes, because you're going to McDonald's to get real values at unreal prices. Only 59 cents for a regular hamburger, 69-cent cheeseburger, 99-cent chicken fajitas, and great deals on Happy Meals. You save money. You're smart, but your children, they're geniuses. Yes, life is good, and at these prices, it only gets better at McDonald's today.
Fourth quarter. Welcome back to Cougar Stadium. The wind's picked up here a little bit. It's been threatening rain all afternoon. Maybe we'll escape it before the fourth quarter is over, but who knows? Sharp wind now at the as you look at it right out of the north from left to right on the field. Could be somewhat of a factor as the Cougars look dead into it here in the fourth quarter. Fuller?
All right, thank you, Doug. Cougars at the 10-yard line. Second down, 3. In fact, as the clouds roll in, the stadium lights have just come on. It was getting a bit dark down there. Jamal Willis keeps those legs driving ahead down to the 7-yard line. Here's the Utah Honda dealers third quarter summary and passing yards. Well, that's close. Total yards today. We're looking at close to 900 yards of total offense so far.
You know, Detmer hasn't put up the numbers in terms of yardage this year. They've played tougher teams at the beginning of the year, but they've also been much more effective rushing the football in the last 6-7 games.
A lot of flags down in this game as well. Peter Tuipulotu takes it off the right side, trying to get to the first down marker. Knocked out of bounds at the 6. A first down for the Cougars. And Blaine, this 49-point outburst today is the highest total of the season for Brigham Young. Their highest point total before today was against New Mexico. We called that game down in Albuquerque a couple of weeks ago when they scored 41. Last week against Colorado State, they scored 40 against Earl Bruce and his Rams. First down, goal to goal at the 6-yard line. Willis will get the pitch.
Oh, man.
And a late
play.
A late call, but the touchdown.
Willis was hung up there. Looks like number 74 came up behind the pile that had Willis jammed up, slammed him forward, and Willis stuck that ball in.
Willis shaken up.
He got hit in the back. Number 79. That's Mike Jenkins. Jenkins.
Man, if Jenkins.
No wonder he's winning.
If Jenkins hits you. Now let's take a look and see if we can see who it is. He's in good position here. It's going to be 2J, I think. You bet. 2J knocks him into the end zone. Now, you really can't do that. But
he didn't actually knock him in. He slammed into the back of the pile. It gave Willis enough momentum that Willis actually falls forward and sticks the ball in.
And Willis, that was a great run before the touchdown. And you're right, Doug. 2J just kind of took the whole momentum of that pile of people with his tiny frame.
Yeah.
And took it into the end zone. 295 pounds.
Lever kicks it through. Brian Boker, by the way, Jamal Willis stood him straight up. And the Cougars have built a 56-17 lead.
Boom chaka-laka laka, boom chaka-laka laka, boom chaka-laka laka, boom chaka-laka.
Attention! All right. Who's having the biggest Veterans Day sale in town?
R.C. Willie's, sir.
Are you sure?
That's a fact, sir.
Don't miss R.C. Willie's giant Lazy Boy sale. Prices on Lazy Boy recliners from $229 and free turkey with your new purchase.
Whoopee!
Whoopee, sir.
Is there instant credit?
Free delivery, too, sir.
Then, get over to R.C. Willie's Veterans Day sale now.
Boom chaka-laka laka, boom chaka.
I'll get the truck. With the highest resale value in its class and proven Honda reliability, the Accord truly is a safe place to put your money.
Your Utah Honda dealers, with service as good as the Hondas they sell.
In this fast-paced world, you have to find products you can depend on. And I've discovered Nu Skin. My hair's never looked so healthy. Nu Skin. Hair care products you can depend on. For every person in your busy life.
Discover Nu Skin. Excellence in personal care products from people who care.
And we're back in Provo. Craig Bolerjack, Blaine Fowler, and Doug Miller. On this blustery day, boy, the wind has really kicked into gear. 14-15 to play in this game.
Maybe you can hear it whistling around down here in the north end zone. I know we must have some gusts of at least 30 miles an hour, and this kick is going to be right into the teeth of it.
You want to keep this one low. When you're kicking into the wind, you try to kick it low, and the ball blew off the tee.
The officials are having trouble keeping the pylon standing up here in the north end zone.
Jamal Willis on the day, 113 yards on the ground and the touchdown. There's Willis. Looks like he's they're looking over his left shoulder. And now Keith Lever will get some help to hold that ball on the tee. Kicks it low. Kind of hung up there, taking it the 7-yard line. And guess who picked it up and ran it down to the 28? Dennis Ross.
Let's take a look at that last touchdown with Jamal Willis. Watch the forward lean as he, stands up the defenders, and then watch 2J come in and put the hit on. And that may be where he got hurt. That shoulder up in the air. Got hit in the backside of his left shoulder, and hopefully that's not anything serious. Maybe Doug can find out for us over there.
Well, BYU football is brought to you by your local Weinigers, Allen Super Save, Best Way, Food Town, Macy's, and Thriftway stores. Members of Associated Food Stores. Cowboys go to the air. The catch made by Harris, and he fights his way down past the 45 to the 46-yard line. And Peter Rowe, number 14, who threw that touchdown pass on their last possession, remains in the football game.
And that was the exact same route, Craig, as the one that went for the touchdown. Just a slant underneath.
First down on the 46-yard line.
That time Harris cut it back across the green. There you see him attending to
17 on the play.
Jamal Willis. How'd you like to have to put ice on the back of your shoulder in this weather?
See Doug Miller on the far side of your picture checking things out. We'll get a report from him in just a moment. Rowe drops back to the shotgun, and Ross lines up to the far side of the field.
One of the team doctors here is looking at Willis.
Patrick Mitchell put the big hit on Mike Jones, incomplete.
Boy, that's gotta hurt.
And Jones is down. Took a shot right in the small of the back.
And Rowe's gonna, as they say, the receivers say, don't hang me up, man. And Rowe's gonna hang him up, and boom.
Double shot.
Sandwiched. Mitchell put the shot right in the chest.
And Herget came on the backside. Mike Jones, a sophomore out of Rapid City, South Dakota. He's still down. You know, interesting that Carranzos, a senior, if he remains on the bench, obviously he ends his career right here in Provo. And Rowe, who's also a senior, getting some playing time before he calls it quits.
Had a chance to check on Willis there on the bench. They say it is just a bruise, not a separation or anything like that. So it shouldn't be that serious for Jamal. Also on the BYU sidelines, John Walsh warming up.
Rowe pedals back, tucks the football, and he's buried at the 45-yard line.
Scott Sorala making a good play all around that time. He put the pressure on and made the tackle up front.
Still hard for me to grasp that the Cougars still have 2 games to play, and with so much, you know, with so much still left to be said. You got to play San Diego State next week, and then you close it out with Utah in 2 weeks. And the Cowboys are done today. 11 straight weeks. Rowe in trouble. And he's hit at the 50-yard line. Flags down in the backfield.
One thing I've noticed about Rowe, he drops back. If he begins to scramble, there's no keeping the football up in throwing position. He's not looking for a receiver at all. He immediately tucks the football down, and he's going to run with it.
Peter Rowe would fit well into an option type of run and shoot at New Mexico. He's got good speed.
He's shown us that he has a good enough throwing arm to do that as well.
.12:39 left in the 4th quarter. If you just tuned in, it's been an offensive show today. Over 800 yards total offense between these 2 teams. Detmer's streak continues, 32 straight with a touchdown pass. He ran in a couple. It's 56-17 BYU. They will win their 7th consecutive game after losing the first 3 of the season. Rowe down the middle and overshoots his wide receiver Yarbrough. Yarbrough asked for the flag and he got it. I'll be dog. Ask and ye shall receive.
And Josh Arnold was running and kind of muscling him away. That ball kind of took off with a wind. Rowe let it fly, and it got going. Take a look. Here's Arnold. He's not looking back at the football right now. Now he reaches back, and he puts that right hand out in. And the official, you know, if it's anything close at this juncture in the game, in this kind of a football game, you think the officials will probably go ahead and call it and give Wyoming the benefit of the doubt.
Jack Baker, one more time.
Pass interference on the defense, 15 yards, first down.
Jack Baker's got more airtime than I have today.
I think he has beat you, Doug. We better have him talk. He may need to get a paycheck after today just because of the airtime he took. Rowe drops back in the shotgun. First down and 10 at the 44. Airs it out downfield. Yarbrough stops on a dime, and they spot him out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
Rowe has an impressive arm, Craig. He threw that out there on a corner route. Good 40 yards in the air, because you've got to take into account it's going out to the right. And watch, he doesn't even look like he has to use any effort at all to get it out there, and throws a perfect strike. I'm impressed with his arm. He may not read the field as well as Carranzos, but he has some good physical skills, and what a game Ryan Yarborough's had. He's been a bright light on a gloomy day for Wyoming.
Pulled down 7 catches through the first 3 quarters. Another first down for the Cowboys. Rowe back to the air again. Yarborough collides with Josh Arnold down at the 21-yard line. Close to a first down. Yarborough now 8 with that catch, 9 for nearly 130 yards today.
He's coming off a 218-yard performance last week.
Carranzos, I'm told, is not injured. Nothing of consequence to switch with Rowe. I think they'll probably let Rowe play the rest of the game. The senior this year has not seen much time. They want to give him a little last game of the year action.
Second down 1. Rowe pedals back, gets his man across the middle, nearly breaks the tackle. Harris down to the 6-yard line. Cowboys have not quit today.
That slant route, Craig, has been there all day for them, although Carranzos has not been able to have the touch to get it into there. He's been throwing the ball real hard and made it difficult on the receivers. Now Rowe comes in here and he's hit 4 of those slants for good yardage.
Led the Cowboys to a score on the first series he was in. It didn't take long. One pass and boom, they were in there. Rowe stands up and fires into the end zone. Incomplete. Dewey Gray on the coverage.
This is that naked bootleg again. BYU covers it well in terms of the containment on the quarterback. They forced the quarterback to step up and throw in the face of a big rush by Hunter, but Derwin Gray was in good position. He had Denton covered well.
The lone back is Terrence Hendricks, number 39. Second down, goal to goal. Hendricks the call. Bounces off a tackle. Dewey Gray comes in and hits him up high, drops him at the 3. Chris Connors, there he is, number 92, also there to plug the hole. Third down and goal from the 3-yard line. Rowe, the quick drop and the touchdown. The catch made by Yarborough. His second touchdown catch of the day, 12 now on the season for Yarborough. And Rowe has come in here and sparked this Cowboy team. 2 drives and 2 touchdowns.
For a guy that hasn't gotten much playing time this year, he has nice touch with the football, and he's done a good job of running that offense. And if anyone should deserve another touchdown pass in this football game for the Wyoming Cowboys, it would be that man, Yarborough. Ran a nice route, pressured to the inside, and went back to the outside.
And the extra point is good. 59 to 24 our score.
Wyoming now 24.
The Cougars with the lead. 10 minutes, 17 seconds to play in this game.
At Piper Jaffray, we recommend an investment plan that changes as you change.
You have children, you have job changes, you need to be flexible. Theoretically, when you're 30, you have a lot of stocks in your portfolio. When you get to be 55 or 60, or when you retire, your investments need to provide you some kind of income. Some of my clients have been with me for years. It's a lifetime process.
At Piper Jaffray, our kind of brokers are your kind of people. People who understand you.
I hope when people see Subway, bells go off and they think, good sandwich. We don't deep fry or freeze dry. Everything's fresh. Each morning, I slice tomatoes, onions. I even bake the bread. These days, people think a lot about what food to eat. Nothing's more honest than a good sandwich. So if the body's a temple, this is the place to come when the temple gets hungry.
For 25 years, Subway has quietly made some of the best sandwiches anywhere, starting at $1.69. For more information, visit the Subway near you.
It's Ford Truck Month, and that means the year's best deals on America's favorite trucks.
You want a sleeker, more aerodynamic design on the F-150? You've got it. You want a more comfortable interior? You've got it. You want it loaded? You've got it. You demand value? No problem. We made Ford Truck Month bigger and better than ever before, and you still want more? Okay, you've got it. Introducing a huge selection of F-Series Super Cabs, only during Truck Month at your Ford dealer.
Well, with a score of 56-24, fans getting an early start to their cars. The traffic maybe back to Salt Lake and around the valley won't be as heavy. Half of this crowd of 65,000, I think, have made their way out of Cougar Stadium. A short kick, and it's picked up by Bill Bryant, number 44, and he takes it back to the 35-yard line.
Take a look at that touchdown again. The play action again. BYU covers the containment well, but Rose seems to be able to throw the ball a little bit better than Carranzo's. When he's rushed, he has a guy in his face. He's still been able to get it off and has the arm strength to be able to throw it. You saw Herget with his hands all over Rose. He let go of it, but still made a nice 30-yard run. There's the scoring drive. 9 plays, 70 yards.
And John Walsh, number 8, checks in for Ty Detmer. Walsh gives it to Mark Atuaya, and the freshman is tackled down at the 30-yard line. He'll pick up a 1. Toyota and their quality line of 92 cars and trucks is bringing you today's football game. Thank you, Toyota.
Would you say the Cowboys asked for it? They got it. I guess not.
I'm busy up here, Doug. On second down, they hand off to number 26 for Brigham Young. Schmidt. Well, we got a couple of trivia points for you to write down. These are the most points ever scored in a BYU Wyoming game. The previous record was 79 points scored back in 1984. Today we've got 80. 56-24, 8:57 to play.
That ball thrown by Walsh behind Mealy. Mealy was coming in and then planted his foot and went back out. He does that against man-to-man defense. Walsh thought it was zone and threw it to the middle. Mealy was not there.
Well, Joe Herrick will come in to punt at his own 20-yard line. Number 5, Eric Edmond will receive the ball. A high snap. Herrick gets it away, and a good line drive punt. Edmonds takes it at the 13-yard line. Skips out of a tackle, still on his feet at the 30. Turns a corner, still on his feet, and finally tackled down at the 33.
Tackle made by...
Well, like Joe Evans. Joe Evans, who on the depth chart is second behind Detmer. He's a senior, hasn't played this year. Ran down and tripped him up.
He probably said, hey, I want to be in on something here. You know, I'm a senior and I haven't had a chance to play. Let me play special teams. And paid off for BYU there, because if he doesn't make that tackle, that was really a touchdown saving tackle. There was only the punter, Herrick, left back there.
8:43 to play. Rowe and the Cowboys go back to work. And they're going to go nowhere on that play. Rowe is sacked by Doug Stone, number 51. He's a junior out of Provo. That's his first sack of the season. Stone is 6'5", 280.
Another little guy. I'll tell you, BYU has some size, don't they? I don't think they've played a team this year that can match up pound for pound with them. In fact, they're as big as most National Football League teams this year.
They are. The dinner table has to be an interesting spot. If you get there late, forget it. On second down, Rowe guns it down to Yarborough. Patrick Mitchell lost the tackle, and Yarborough's going to take it in. Oh, what a show by Rowe and Yarborough here in the fourth quarter. Has he put up some numbers in this quarter? And the Cowboys are not laying down. 56-30, and we've got a lot of time here, folks. 7:50 to play.
Yarborough with outstanding speed. He's a good, he's a big physical receiver as well. He got down the seam of the zone in between Mitchell, Paul Pitts, and Josh Arnold right in that seam. And Rowe has shown me that he can throw with some touch. He has been on.
Ah, shucks, he says.
He wanted to go for 2.
And the extra point is good. It's 56-31. And it has been quick hit touchdown football. We'll take a timeout. 7:50 to play. 56-31. Wow.
If all you want are tools that last through this weekend's project, buy them anywhere. But if you want tools that will perform for a lifetime, backed by service and experience, there's only one place to buy them: Industrial Supply. Bauer platform ladders allow you to turn 360 degrees in safety to get closer to your work. 6-foot fiberglass platform step is now $169. 6-foot wood step ladder just $55. Bauer aluminum step ladder is now $79.99. There's only one place to buy the right tools: Industrial Supply.
What's behind your neighborhood independent supermarket? The biggest buying power in the Intermountain West. And because we buy more than anyone else, we can sell for less. This week, you'll save on
refreshing Tropicana sparklers are just 99 cents. Save on Skippy family-size peanut butter, on sale for $5.99. Dishes get cleaner with palm olive dish liquid. 42-ounce bottles are $1.99. And super cleaning Whisk Power Scoop detergent is only $4.59.
So buy all you want. We'll get more at Macy's, Weininger's, and Allen's.
Citgo gives you the choice of 2 quality gasolines, regular unleaded and the Performer, a high-octane premium that meets the stringent BMW unlimited mileage test. Buy Citgo gasoline at participating 7-Elevens.
Super Red Tag savings are at Gene Harvey Chevrolet Geo now. Get a new S10 pickup for only $127 a month.
Rowe and Yarborough. 3 up, 3 down. 3 possessions with Rowe as the quarterback, and they have put on 21 points. It's 56-31. You can bet an onside kick is coming your way. Sean Fleming tees it up at the 35, and the Cougars now making some adjustments on the field. Brad Clark and Atuaya, there they are. Clark coming up to his 35. Fleming gives it a roll. Ball's on the ground. It's loose. Cowboys have it at the 41. No, now they say, yeah, the Cowboys have it at the 41-yard line.
BYU kind of has gone to sleep here in the fourth quarter, and you would think that a 25-point lead with 7 minutes to go is safe, but not the way Wyoming has put the ball in the end zone the last few times they've had it. Take a look again. It's got to go 10 yards. He kicks it hard and takes a nice bounce for the Wyoming Cowboys.
Zundel touched it right there to make it a live football, and Wyoming recovers, and they're back in business at their own 41. And Sean Fleming says, yeah, I did it. Now they've changed quarterbacks again. John Gustin, the freshman, checks in. Number 12. He fires a dart downfield, and the catch made by Brent Tillman, number 13, a freshman out of Pueblo, Colorado.
You said it, Craig. That was a dart. Gustin just, look at the size of this guy. 6'5", 225 pounds out of Boise. And he just let that one fly. He's a big, strong quarterback. It reminds you of Dan McGuire from San Diego State.
He's also got the Scott Mitchell size,
yeah.
The former Ute quarterback. He was a lefty, though. So this is the future at Wyoming. John Gustin, a freshman out of Boise. I guess Coach Tiller says get in there and bring this team back some more. Fires it. Boy, that crossing route open, picked up a fumble. Dewey Gray on the run and takes it to the 36-yard line.
Similar play that we saw earlier in the game. Nice reception on that slant route, and then the strip. There's a flag down. Take a look. Gustin fires it in there with some authority on that slant route.
Just a nice play there by Crutchfield. Reached up and just banged that ball out.
And that was Derek Palmer who caught the ball and fumbled it. Crutchfield shows his experience, saw that football exposed and knocked it away.
Dead ball, delay a game on the offense. First down, 15.
Now, is that just a way of saying no celebration?
Just not too much over celebration, I guess. But being a dead ball foul, moves it back, and now you got 1st and 15 instead of 1st and 10. Big break for BYU, because if Wyoming goes in and scores again here, I think Lavelle Edwards would have to start thinking about putting his first team back in there.
I'll tell you, on that particular set of downs, Giles was back in the ball game along with Jared Levitt at the linebacker spot, and Dewey was there as well. Yarborough, what a day. 11 catches, 193 yards. Joe Evans, or John Walsh, checked that in the ball game. Mark Atuaya spins, and some of the words being exchanged. Touche stepping in between his freshman running back.
He didn't like something to have. He immediately got up and grabbed the tackler by the shoulder and had a few words to say.
There's the Cowboy bench. They finish off the season today. Walsh looking at 2nd down, 12. The handoff to Schmidt. And the clock continues to roll. He did not get out of bounds. They marked the ball at the 44-yard line, about 2.5 yards shy of the 1st down.
And notice that BYU still has their first team offensive line in there blocking for Walsh and Schmidt and Ottawa. May and Touche were out in front. Schmidt just makes a nice spin move through that first tackle. But yeah, BYU is letting the second group of backs work with that starting offensive line.
Walsh fumbles the football, picks it back up, throws it to the far side of the field. Mealy still on his feet. He may go. Dragged out of bounds at the 30-yard line. What a play. 2 freshmen there. Walsh dropped it, regrouped, threw a good ball to the far side of the field, and watched the run by Atula Mealy.
He just didn't get the snap clean, but he had the presence to be able to pick it back up. He knew where he was going with the football. In fact, I think it confused the cornerback for Wyoming. He started to come up to try to make the play, which left Mealy open behind. And then Rob Levin has to make the touchdown-saving tackle.
Rob Levin, a sophomore out of North Glen, Colorado, made the touchdown-saving grab around Mealy's neck. Little delayed draw. And Atuaya picks up 3. Down inside the 40-yard line. Give him 2 yards. They'll mark it at the 39. Coming up on the 5-minute mark. Otis Sterling also checks in, number 80. He's had some big games this season, a couple of touchdown catches. He got some playing time after the injury to Bryce Doman. Schmidt hurdles a tackler. He's stacked up at the 40, short of the 1st down. The 3,000-yard passing barrier. Ty Detmer, the Geneva Steel man of the game, and Geneva will contribute $1,000 in his name to BYU's athletic scholarship program to honor his performance. Our executive producer today, David Manukin. Terry G. Lamb down in the truck. Master control.
And we put the ball on the 28-yard line where it'll be first.
Brian Mangum, our audio, and the rest of our crew here today. 2:20 to play in this game. Gustin from the shotgun. Picked off at midfield by David Kennard. And number 28, Kennard, pulls down the ricochet. And Gustin again, boy, I tell you, he threw a dart off the hands, and Kennard picked it off, but hold on.
And the backside official is going to overrule that. Let's see if we can see if that ball does hit the ground before Kennard comes up with it.
No, I don't think so.
I think he got his arms underneath it. Let's take a look from another angle and see if we can get a better view of what happens with that football.
He's got it. Well, looks like he had the ball supported. That's a tough call. Tough call.
I'll tell you, that ball had some heat on it when it came out of Gustin's hand. He can throw a lot of velocity on that football when he wants to.
Hit Brent Tillman, number 13. Second down, 15. Gustin goes back to the air and tries it again downfield to Tillman, and Kennard on coverage.
On that deep post route like that, there's certain throws, the one before, you do want to throw the ball flat on that break over the middle route, but when you're going deep on a post and your man's got a step, you want to get it up in the air and allow the receiver to run underneath the football. You have more of a chance of completing that. You throw it flat like that, it's either there or it's not.
Now 2 minutes to play. The Cowboys will finish up the season 4 wins, 6 losses, and a tie. And that one tie came back 6 weeks ago against UTEP up in Laramie. 28-28 tie. Gustin on the run, throws it out of bounds. So Joe Tiller's first year, and probably he'll take some time to think, only if the injury bug had not bitten. They've always been able to put a good team on the football field, Blaine.
They're competitive. Even with the injuries they've been in most of the football games, excluding this one, of course, throughout the year. And it's just hard to be consistent when you have different people out there every week.
Cougars will keep the streak alive. 7 straight. A low snap. Fleming digs it up out of the ground, and Clark pedals back, takes it at his own 16. And Clark finally wrestled down at the 30-yard line. I will tell you this, there's not, and I don't have the statistics in front of me, I don't know of many clubs after losing 3 will rip off 7 consecutive wins. I got a feeling that the pollsters tomorrow, you can see the Cougars climb back in that top 25 somewhere.
They've matured so much in terms of their young players being able to run the right routes, do the right assignments, and the running game's improved so much. They're a much better football team than they were in the first 3 games of the season.
New quarterback in for the Cougars, number 17, Ryan Hancock. Hancock and
false start on the offense.
Hancock and Walsh will battle come spring to see actually who is number 1. Walsh, though, with the lead, he's had plenty of time to show what he can do.
Hancock is a 6'2", 205-pound freshman out of Cupertino, California, and he can throw a fastball.
He's he can play a little baseball too. Atuaya met and dropped, maybe a yard gain.
I see BYU has gone with that backup offensive line now, centered by big Mike Jenkins. And I think that is the total backup line. Mike Jenkins at center, Griffith and Pilgrim at the guards, Empey and Brumfield out at the tackles.
Second down, 14, under a minute left. Schmidt gets the call, cuts it back up at the 30. A nice cut at the 35 and close to the first down, but a flag goes down. Well, the flags have just been all over the field today.
They look a nice cutback, designed to go out to the left side, of course. Schmidt decides to cut it back, and when he cut back, not only
clip right
yeah,
there.
there's the call right there. A clip.
Tim Nowatzki, number 42.
He hit Joe Sandoval right in the back. So that was a good call. But when you cut back like that, the defenders are off balance, of course, as you go across the grain, but your blocks aren't set up quite as well. And a clip takes place there.
Clipping on the offense. 15 yards. Repeat, second down.
Takes the ball back to the 17-yard line. 42 seconds left on the clock here at Cougar Stadium. Penalties today, 11 flags against the Cougars, 125 yards.
You know, that's hurt them in this game, but they've been so dominant in the game, they've been able to get away with it. You can't afford to have that kind of penalty problem against a good team. They'll have to eliminate those next week against San Diego State or they could be in trouble.
Cougars have to run one more play. Schmidt in motion. And now flags and whistles. This has become a comedy of errors here the last couple of minutes.
On the offense.
Another false start against the Cougars. New quarterback, new line. Those things happen. The 12th flag of the day. 18 seconds left. And the Cougars do not have to run another play. And they probably won't. 7 on the clock. You can count it down at home. It's been a long afternoon. A lot of offense. The Cougar streak now reaches 7 wins in a row. And they will go to San Diego State next week with an opportunity to win the conference championship and another trip to the Holiday Bowl. The Cowboys close out their season here in Provo. 4 wins, 6 losses, and a tie. 2-5-1 in the conference. The final 56-31. We'll come back after this.